so we're going to throw to Obi. Sean will be joining him in a hot minute. It's basically, he's just on another segment doing the collaborations, as we say here. So we're, Sean, doing big things. There it is. Holo took out 10.5. Here we go. So let's watch this now, Joe. Sorry, Ob. Let's just watch this for a second. Can we now start making new higher? We're going long. Let's go. We're long. Let's see what we get over here. We're going to take some prints out at the top over here. Let's see. Is this going to halt or what? What the hell's going on over here? Boom. We'll take out some more prints there. What do we got on? What do we got on over here? Ob? All right, we got 70s on. Let's see if it zigs and zags. Anything below 50, I'm Gonzino. So let's go ahead and drop that right there, and then we'll go 1030 for that amount of shares. So let's see what we get here. HOLO took out the seller, but I'm not going to hold this one against me for too long. Looking for a hold of that $0.50. If that $0.50 held or was a tough level to shake, so maybe, just maybe, it gives us prints to the high side. Let's set up something over here so we have some prints to the high side in case this one does spike up. All right, so Sean is back. So keep your eye on Holo, guys. Took out that seller, but now it's got a seller at the 2/3 of a dollar. Let's see if this one can zoom up, or are the shorts now in control? So we've got 70s on, basically break even at the moment. Let's see if this one starts curling back up. This one should be a really interesting trade into the afternoon. Here we go, 70s. Can we get a bit more of a squeeze? 75s. We're still at seller at 74. Nope. So there's aggressive selling into the 3/4 of a dollar. And now someone's setting up at 65s. Look at that. Someone just posted a big size there at 65. Can we shake them? About 400 lots. We can't shake that seller. So that is going to be a bit of a roadblock. Yeah, shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
I'm giving this super tight risk there. So we'll give back a little bit on that one, but it's all good. We'll keep an eye out on HOLO. It's losing that $0.50. So this one looks like it is going to be a false breakout for now. Look for the lower high, though. So look for that print below that 10.09. That is the prior bar low. It looks like it's zigging and zagging with a dollar. Maybe we didn't give it enough room. Either way, we got to go.
Yeah,
the Katina man is back.
Man. I've been documenting that 4 minutes, OT.
All right, guys. All right, we are 4 minutes overtime. The Katina man is back at the desk. OB's in. I'll see everybody quick as you like on the green screen.
Hey, Golden.
Hey.
Yo, 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 what's happening, everybody?
Oh, boy.
How was your lunch? I'll tell you something that's happening right now.
We go from one Twitter space to another over here, you know what I'm saying?
You've been a busy...
It's been a fun day.
Busy person.
And I just sit back here and I'm starting to hit some keys again, so let's get going. Right now, we're still in Tesla.
You're back-to-back Jackson with the shows.
We're still in Apple. We're still in Amazon.
Oh, boy.
We're still in the TQs. Let's go.
Oh, boy.
We're excited. Yeah, back-to-back Jack with the shows. I want to thank, I was just saying to Obi, it's amazing to be on a pod or on a space there with Dan Ives. Like, I hear him all the time talking on CNBC and doing this and doing that. And then to be able to, hear him and interject and everything like that, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So thank you to Granite Shares for sponsoring that, and thank you to Lead Lag Report for having me on there. It was a great experience. But I got to get in the chat. Like, I literally just sat down. I want to thank the guys over there for holding fort just a little bit as I ran back here. I actually tweeted something out. Nah, it's nothing that special. Just kind of a fun little thing here.
Okay.
All right. People have wanted it. We're back in the podcast room, baby. There it is right there. But we just did a quick little talk there in the podcast room. Okay, so many people have wondered why I called this guy Mini-Me.
I don't know. He just works here.
Yeah, well, don't we all? But at the end of the day, like, I used to bombard Sharif's show there with my sunglasses, acting a fool like that. So shout out to Joe, man. We love the energy. Energy is great.
Hey, he's back.
Oh,
he's back. Oh, no. Gotta love Joe.
No, we do. We love it. I mean, that's why. I'm playing around. We love everything around here. But anyways, shout out. Thanks for everybody for coming back here. We are going to work on the rundown. We'll get that going in a couple seconds here. But you just mentioned Tesla, and I'm saying, oh boy, to that one. As Tesla, nice little upside move. We're still long off the open, and this is what we were even talking about there on that pod. It's like, the moves, I think less shares, maybe wider stops. You had almost you were a little bit quicker on your stops today, just different strategies. And that's what we were talking about, depending on, what you're looking for. It's either more shares, tighter stops, or less shares, larger stops. And, every day is going to be a little bit different. But there we go again, the market trying to move around one more time here. Looks like we're hovering around zeros. we actually talked about something on the space there that you and I talk about all the time, and that is like, what are we going to do tomorrow with Nvidia, right? This is a 1.5 times mover with NVDA. How about do nothing right now?
Yeah.
So
I think that's very fair. Yeah. I mean, I haven't touched NVDA at all.
Yeah, why throw that dart right now and say, I think Nvidia is going to beat, or I believe, like, let's be perfectly honest, what you and I think, Obi, is great. And I mean, I hope people are here to hear about some of that, and we can have a very good discussion about this. Yeah. But buying Nvidia here at 136.75, is that, if it's small and you want to play a game, fine. But they could beat everywhere.
Yeah, and
guide a little lower or say a little something. Jensen does not wear his blue jacket. I don't know. Yeah. You know, and the stock reacts to that. So I'm saying if you're worried about missing the 10% move, the 15% move, whatever the move tends to be, you could just come in tomorrow, trade NVDL, and grab, there it is, and grab that back, grab that space back. You know what I mean? Like, grab along tomorrow, play it, grab your 5% move on only a 2% move, and trade NVDL instead of trading the underlying. So just some quick ideas there. I'm going to load up the chat and see what's going on. But how was your lunchtime? Any trades? Or?
Yeah, no, I got a little I guess we left you guys around 11 o'clock right here.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, I did get aggressive with that short. That didn't come in. We were talking about this little wipe up that happened on Tesla. That was absolutely crazy here. This wipe right here. So this is the candle I'm looking at right here at 11:18. Oh boy, straight wipes, holds that 61. I actually got pretty aggressive here as we made lower highs into this base. And I'm like, all right, this will go. Guess what? Didn't really have a stop up here as I was kind of just being like, all right, this should go right away. I'm looking for it to go right away. And it slams. What's that?
Do we just have Fed minutes?
Yeah, 2 o'clock Fed minutes. Yeah, that's what it was. So Fed minutes are out as of about 9 minutes ago, as soon as we kind of joined you guys there. Yeah, the market not really reacting too crazy just yet. To it, a little bit of a pop here happening, maybe a little bit of a bid, but yeah, during lunchtime I got aggressive there, got even more there. Here's the thing: I shorted everything on the left side, but nothing on the right side of the V there when it does come in, and then just covered on this base because I'm like, if it's going to hold this level once again, I don't want to get caught up in it. So I covered a decent chunk, added some back in on the VWAP, and when it kind of bid up and held, I was like, all right, well, this is clearly very strong on the day. I don't want to fight the trend that was happening yesterday. It settled down from all of the morning craziness that Tesla had, and guess what? We're back up pretty much near the highs now. So let's see what Tesla has in store. I might be in a little bit of a cheeky short there, just risking against that high. Just like you said, smaller size, wider stop, just testing that out. Obviously, the long from here worked out very well, but it seems like over and over again, there might be a little bit of supply, 65, 64s throughout the day on Tesla. But other than that, I didn't really do too much. Still holding on to the TQ short. That was pretty solid. That thing's pretty much grinded up. Yeah, the TQ short from the morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So have that short there. Fortunately enough, kind of held a decent chunk of it. Didn't really cover much in the 60s there. Covered most of it at 71s. So left a little bit on the table there. But again, only have a breadcrumb on left over. I covered, I think if you guys remember in the morning session, I was like, yeah, I covered more than 95%. So yeah, I'm just going to let this one run and see what happens. If it actually comes back all the way to the highs and stops me out, well, that's perfectly fine. That's what the Nasdaq looks like it's trying to do as of right now with that strength coming back in. Hey, what? Hey, look at that. Guess what? 21,500 once again. That's what I'm pointing out here on the Nasdaq. But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy, Sean. But I'm more interested in the space that you were in. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about that a little later after we do the rundown.
Sure, yeah, we'd love to do all of that. Okay, so let's just keep it going now. Various movements happen. It's funny that you're short the TQs from the morning. I'm still long from the morning, and maybe we'll run into each other here.
Yeah, maybe.
And figure this out. So I'm starting to take some out here for the highs of this TQQ trade. Look, it's been a blast. I really enjoy working here. Now, I got in trouble last night, by the way, from my wife because she yeah, I'll tell you why. Because yesterday, I think it might have happened live on the show, actually. I might have even commented it live.
Oh, boy.
She was in the chat, and I said, there's no place I'd rather be.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Trading with everybody.
Boy.
And she was like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go over well. So anyways, shout out to Marissa, who, coincidentally is getting her hair done today. Yeah. So I need some of these trades to work out.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Like, come on, like my haircut, for example, can be cut by myself.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
Don't know if you have a significant other or anything like that, but it get expensive depending on the style and the cut and the color. I shouldn't say that. No color. I mean, all natural. Coming through.
I got my significant other right in front of me, and she's been giving me cuts all
man.
month.
I say that I'm a slave to two women, basically, my wife and Mother Market. And yeah. All right, Sharif. It's 2:12. Let's go talk about something.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. OB, in for Neil, the big boys, they're locked and they're loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there is to join Joseph and I on the Midday Show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to be a subscriber in order to vote and engage with us. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at the first ticker as decided by you guys, NVDA. Reporting after the bell today. Make sure to catch that with Sean and I on the Market Recap Show. We have an Nvidia earnings party, one of the most favorite names, one of the most watched names. All right, guys. So we were kind of consolidative all afternoon, and then the bid hit, and now we're up 1.25% on NVDA. Just to give you an idea of what we're expecting here, guys, for earnings. Last year on the quarter, we printed $26.04 billion in revenue. We're expecting now $43.54 billion in revenue. We'll have to see how they do on the actual report and how they guide, boys.
All right. Shout out Dr. Plankton there in the chat. He's like, dude, what about your Abercrombie and Fitch there? You talked about it live on the open show, breaking through 95. I would take the short. Yeah, didn't take it right there. It doesn't break until we were getting off the air. So I didn't have this order pending when I left for the gym for the afternoon. But yeah, that was apparently a great call. So we'll pat ourselves, go to Barry Horowitz there on the shoulder, but we do not have that trade. So congratulations, that's a wrestling reference. So don't worry about it for the Barry Horowitz there. But okay, so look, exactly what Sharif had just mentioned. There's a reason why yesterday we had SOXL written down. There's a reason why today we sort of have left NVIDIA, to sort of trade by itself there. We said that we would get involved here in the afternoon. Look what's happening. I mean, it's almost like if you rewind the tape to 8:45 when I first talked about this, Obi and I looked at each other. I said, all right, I want to trade this, see what it's doing in the afternoon. And I could see it start to ramp up heading into the close. Well, at 2 o'clock, basically, and sure, the market's helped, right? The market, well, not even really, I guess. Well, hold on, I don't mean to zoom in. It's kind of going on its own right now, NVIDIA, considering that that's the move there and that's the move here. So there goes NVIDIA. So I just feel that, pullbacks into the 50-period moving average, we really want to buy that. I'm not going to sit here and make a prediction on what we think is going to happen. During that space, I used the example of Okta last night and things like that, where, you don't really know what's going to hit. The Okta chart looked great. For me, this is another coil up right now. And what I was talking about was, why not just wait and do absolutely nothing? We don't have to get overly aggressive with this play here in the market. We can wait for tomorrow. I like the long. I think we'd rather be long than short into this print. But there's also nothing wrong with being flat and in cash. So again, like the call, like the play. Saudi Arabia came with a credit card the other day, right? Qatar, that whole sort of meeting that happened over there sort of gave some lift to NVIDIA. Otherwise, we probably would still be down there. But that was a nice gap, and we're starting to hold there. I want to hear what China's all about for NVIDIA, how that story is, and then where these future buys are coming from. I do want to put something else out into the Twitterverse right now, because I'll actually do this live. Okay, on live, we already said that. I just went long in the swing with Marvell. So I believe in this space. I think, AI is something that's not going anywhere. I like NVIDIA. I like Marvell. I like some of the tertiary plays as well. I mean, look at that example we got today with Palantir, right? Yeah. Palantir and Fannie Mae hooking up. Okay. You know, I mean, not necessarily a you know, made in heaven there, a plan made in heaven or match made in heaven, but one, again, where you would think that, okay, a mortgage company, they got it for detecting fraud and things like that.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, more plays coming for AI, right? And, yeah, NVIDIA is the king of the jungle. So we'll stay long NVIDIA. I just don't think it's a huge smart play to be gambling in front of that report, OB.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But have you heard of easy trading computers?
Yeah.
Have you ever entered into an order to buy or sell, and the price you got filled at is completely different from what you expected? Well, that's called slippage. Slippage happens when you're trading on an older, underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. So that's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid slippage. Go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide. All right, guys. So what were we talking? We're talking about some Nvidia. Yeah, that Nvidia is going pretty wild here. Let's pull up the chart. I was looking at it a little earlier there, and then I kind of have it made a little smaller on my upper screen here, and I did not catch this move. Talk about a move during lunchtime, and I was like, oh boy, yeah, I think I just looked at it when Sean pointed it out, and I was like, okay, 137s, we actually cracked that pre-market high, which is absolutely wild there. So some strength coming into Nvidia. Yeah, it's kind of doing its own thing because the market was consolidating near its lows, maybe reverted about 50% of the flush that we got, but Nvidia not only reverted 50%, it reverted 100% of the opening range, and it went on to break through that pre-market high for some fresh highs as well. So relatively strong on Nvidia, again, going into earnings. So we're seeing some potential buying sentiment on earnings eve here on Nvidia, it would seem.
Guys, Tesla, the next up here, kind of flat on the day, up 0.01. Not much really to talk about here for TSLA. There was this, though. Looks like there's some insider selling by Kimball Musk and company to the tune of about $190 million ahead of that robo-taxi launch, guys. Now only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah. I think Tesla again, very much in play, right? Breaking out technically at the beginning of the week. You guys saw that coming in. It's been winding up underneath that 350 over and over again, and finally, over the past couple of days, we've finally got a little bit of a distinct push and hold above those prior levels. So this is what I'm talking about. If we just go to let's go to an hourly chart here, take off that VWAP so we have a little bit more of a clear perspective. You can see that right there, 55 highs, nice little consolidation for over about I guess 12 days worth of trading here, and yeah, nice little push and breakout yesterday, and today we're just consolidating near these near some of these lows here. That end of day consolidation that I was talking about in the morning, I was like, well, that might be a little key. We held that, we pushed back up, but guess what? We're still kind of stuck in that prior day end of day consolidation or range zone as of right now. So maybe some more consolidation to be had here on Tesla before we can see some fresh prices or even take a little bit of a pullback. But that's what I got on Tesla today. Lots of chop there. You can see that now. I traded it multiple times. We had the long and then we had the short. Yeah. I had the short, and guess what? I got the short again off of the same area where I was like, all right, supply off the open, supply off a retest, supply off a retest. Guess what? Supply off a retest. So there may or may not be something there, but it seems like that 364, 365 area might be a level of interest. But then again, we're just orbiting around VWAP, to say the least, there on Tesla. So.
I feel like there may or may not be news right now about Tesla. Like Satea's not at the desk. Okay, Sharif is, but it doesn't matter. Right there, nice move to the downside right there. We got 360s out of there. 360 longs, but just took a 364 fill. Look, I hate to keep going back to this kind of stuff, but hey, what's up? No, it was right here. This is back-to-back days where we had basically the exact same trade written down for Tesla, and there's the number one long idea. It'll be, again, for the second day in a row. Well, actually, the TQs are the number one P&L name for me today, but another big trade there for Tesla. We're very light on the amount of shares, under 5% right now. Once we got this level, that was about as good as we could hope for. There's 360, 350. Now you're starting to fall back in. The stop for Tesla, I cancel. Well, it's right now still at that 357, so we were still looking down there. You could see, we got that back plus more. So yeah, again, like the stock, just feel that story yesterday about Elon Musk just spending more time with the business. I mean, that was great. It got us up to this level again, right into there's 360. But that's the next area that we need to sort of break through and hold above, right? So if we kind of go back, you're kind of just seeing this right into there. That's 360. Basically 361, 362. We doubled up there, we topped it there again, and then we were resisted before flopping right back in. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I almost feel like anyone that had bought in sort of in this coil and maybe even in here as well, or sold like Joe did at the bottom. But like we've all done many times, this is Joe telling me to tell you guys this, not me. But there it is, the break to the high side. Maybe worth thinking about getting something out here just in case this repeats itself one more time. So I do like the story. We know it's not a car story anymore, but I feel like it hasn't been like that since their last report. So you're getting a lot of love in Tesla, and barring, you know, Optimus and the Robotaxi event, I believe, is next month, Sharif. It might be either end of June or beginning of July type of thing. So, you know, that's that sort of next shoe to drop. Do you need to be in the stock full position now? Probably not. I think it's worth taking something off the top there. I'm still going to be trading it every day as a day trade. I'm not sure about the swing account anymore. If I went 7% yesterday on what were bad sales numbers coming from the EU, right? So it wasn't great. So, but anyways, okay, that's Tesla. We still love the stock. I think it's a little overheated. Let's go find out about another name that reports tonight. It's Salesforce, baby, and Mark Benioff, one of my favorite CEOs.
Yeah, he's a character, Sean. I love him. Yeah, as you mentioned, there is Salesforce CRM reporting after the bell today with Nvidia, so make sure to catch that in the market recap with Sean and I. Not a flat day here, guys. Selling off a little bit, almost down 0.4%. We want to hear what that acquisition, guys, that acquisition that they made a few weeks back, specifically for that agentic AI, slated to be one of the biggest AI stories of the year. Agents, guys. Let's see what they have to say on the earnings call today.
All right. I'm seeing if Randy's still here. Ooh, it looks like he is. We're going to get some peach tea up in here very, very soon.
Okay.
We got a lot of talking to do still left on this stream. And then join me and Sharif and I. I don't have a dare to correct my English here. So Sharif and I tonight for the recap show. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun as we talk about this name coming through, Salesforce. So yeah, look, I think this could be an AI leader. You know, Salesforce, again, customer relations management there, the software involved in this. They are built into so many different businesses right there that if they can just improve stability, improve use case. We talked about Einstein, and then I forget the one that Sharif was just mentioning there. But there's going to be some love for Salesforce, and it's just right now caught in between the 200 and the 50-period moving average. It has a lot of room to get back to the upside. Definitely hit, right? Why would this be a tariff name? I'm not sure that it is. So we're just going to have to wait to make sure CapEx spending is still there, make sure that Salesforce, their customers are still, you know, extending out. You know, Google, a lot of these other names have come out with similar products whereby, you know, they'll write the emails for you. You'll do this, you'll do that. So Randy, the only thing is that I'm going to give this one to Obi. Because I did ask Obi if he wanted one.
No, that's okay. I got my coffee here as well. That's okay.
Would you like a peach tea?
That's okay. It's all good. I don't want to send Randy back for more. All good.
I don't want to say. I mean, Randy has a lot to do around here, but I think he can.
I'm good, thank you.
Are you sure? I think you're being nice.
I'm good. Get back to.
Okay, Randy doesn't want one. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you very much, Randy.
You can have my peach tea. Okay. All right.
I will have.
So I do like Salesforce there. It is a holding of mine, and I don't know. I think it's irresponsible for us to give advice on sort of where we think the quarter is going. You know, there's been a lot of opportunity in this space lately, and I think Salesforce is just a winner. You know, the best companies continue to outperform. Now, there's going to be hiccups that happen all the time. I like Salesforce here tonight, and I think they'll probably beat, and then it's just about the guide, but it's the story of every single stock. I feel like a broken record.
Yeah, I think, again, in anticipation, similar story here. Don't really want to touch it. That's just my perspective before earnings. I want to see what the earnings report does, how it sets up. What do we do with recent action off of the earnings report? Like, do we break some of these recent highs? Do we break some of these recent lows? Again, it's always almost about figuring out what that offside might be. for me as looking at short-term participants and then higher time frame participants as well. But yeah, on the day today, nothing too crazy. Sold off pretty aggressively off of the opening, I guess, session, and then pretty much consolidating or trading above that 274-day low as of right now. But you can see that well within that prior day's range, and this is interesting right here. See, I don't know what really came in here, but it seems like some sort of catalyst on Friday at the end of the day dropped this thing all the way down to 271s, and since then we've pretty much been trading within that range. So nothing too crazy here. Let's see what CRM has after its earnings report after hours today.
All right, guys, BTC up next here. We have the beginning of the Bitcoin 2025 conference taking place today in Las Vegas, still going live with the keynote being given by none other than VP JD Vance, who's predicting, boys, 100 million Bitcoin holders sooner rather than later. It was kind of a nothing burger, though. Satya was covering for us. No real price action movements during the speech.
I want to say, too, I looked this up. 33 of 45 analysts have CRM rated a strong buy. So I just want to bring that up to everybody. Okay. So IBIT, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really here to see some of the movements during this conference. I did see some of the notes where JD Vance said he's a large holder, or he has a significant portion or something like that of crypto. We reported that earlier on the day. We thought it was around $500,000, which is a significant portion, 5 coins. I mean, we'll see if it can get higher than there. I always thought that Bitcoin was always a sell the news type of play. And I think you're getting that today, right? You get excited about the Trump coin dinner. You get excited about this talk right here by JD Vance. And realistically, it's not doing anything to Bitcoin, right? I mean, it's had a huge move higher here over the last month or so. You know, we get that flush down into 70,000. This is IBIT that I'm referring to right now. And we've just taken out these tops and now we're just hovering around. There's always a cooling off period. You know, which is why I think a good way to trade this is to make a little bit of money if you're able to. And again, Brian Shannon really likes Solana. Yesterday was one of the calls that he had made sort of for us on the recap show last night. And look what it's done down today, down 4%. So if you're able to catch a little bit of profit trading some of these altcoins, like XRP is now below 5 cents below where I most recently bought it, right? So if you can make a little bit of money, scalp out and put it back into Bitcoin, I think eventually that will be the right play. And then he and I both agreed, like, and I know Joe talks about this, I know Sharif does as well, but you don't need to be in MicroStrategy or strategy. You could just buy Bitcoin, you know? So I do believe more and more about those kind of plays as well. Waiting for IBIT to come into some key levels, waiting for Bitcoin to maybe back the truck. You can see right there on my screen, it's 107.5. I bought at 103, I think between 103 and 100, probably decent buy areas as well. But hey, if you believe in something, then you want to hold it. And I think Bitcoin is worth it. I think it's worth 5 to 10% of your portfolio if you're feeling a little bullish. Yeah, buy the dips on everything, but maybe not MicroStrategy. I just would rather trust, you know, Bitcoin in my hands rather than Michael Saylor's. So that's what that is for me now on strategy.
Yeah, no, again, we left you in the morning. Bitcoin was in and around 109s. Bit of a sell-off there, so a continuation off of those all-time highs there on Bitcoin. So just still chopping around, but some selling coming in off of that 110 or 111 test that we had just yesterday there on Bitcoin. So yeah, a little bit of a consolidation, but like I said, this is a 3-minute chart, so we're seeing a lot of noise here. But let's go up. What did I just do?
Amazon, before we go back over there.
Hold on 1 second. I got to get out of this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Come over here and then we'll let you work on your trade. There's Amazon, to take Sharif's word. Boom, right there as Amazon all the way back up to VWAP. A good little trade there for us, taking $1 there on Amazon. And we had talked about this sort of dip buy opportunity. We did it 3 times right there, but not again right there. Darn it. Wish we were there for that, but there goes Amazon nicely trading to the high side. Okay, holy smokes, Holo.
It's ridiculous, Sean. I mean, every time I look at this, it's putting in yet a high or low. I mean, there was really no catalyst on this one today, but this is a repeat offender, Sean. It breaks out at times where you don't expect it to break out. Holding VWAP, holding the levels, guys, up 78% almost. Let's see where this can go. Can it get triple digits? We'll see.
I don't even know anything about this. So Holo, hold on. $10, $11 right now for Holo, up huge right now as we continue to go upside right now. We always got to do a little bit of work here and try to figure out what to. I'm not opposed to trading short float names. I mean, we've been doing that for the last little while on the show as well. Okay, microcloud hologram stock is moving higher Tuesday, above average volume, start trending various sites, discussions. Okay, so definitely it has the space there for the eyes of Reddit and whatnot. HOLO. The short float on this name is only 16% right there. The float is 4.7 million shares. So that's definitely something right there. Quantum breakthrough right now for Holo is what they're talking about now. So, all right. Yeah, it looks like another name here that could continue to work as it's getting pushed around, right? I mean, this is what happens. We go away from GameStop today. We took our bath in GameStop. And yesterday and a couple last days, we did really well on other quantum names like QBTS. We know that when they get going, and there's nothing to stop them. So there goes Holo, another move higher. Looks like we already had a reverse split. So I would say stay that away from this name, to be honest with you. This reverse split, look what happened. This is what always happens on reverse splits. So you could take it from me now and rub my face in mud if this doesn't wind up working out. But to me, you get anywhere in between like this $13 to $14 area and you're still holding on to this, I think it's a drop. I think you got to get out of it at that spot. You know, I'm going to assume this is a reverse split on April 21st. So we can look that up. But if it is, then that makes perfect sense to me. This move, obviously, I'm not sure about a breakthrough. Remember what we talked about with quantum and all this kind of stuff? They are years away from like any reasonable products, I think, that are actually going to be playable. And I don't mean playable as in a video game, but, you know, to hit their earnings per share. So I would be very, very cautious of any kind of move like this in Holo. But for today, man, Holo smokes. It just keeps on going upside there. And I would just look for a fade. At some point, the bottom is going to fall out of this, and maybe it's getting a little exhausted now. Look at these last two big candles there, green candles, exhaustion candles, getting up to those highs and then running out of steam. For me, Holo's a short. We'll check back on this in a little while, but I think right here, right now, I would not be pushing the long. These last two exhaustion candles to the upside could not get it going, and we bounced off of 1150. So it's definitely not a long until we break 1150 right now. So I would not be averaging into this. I'd be looking short on Holo.
Yeah, a little bit of I guess trappy action there. It had strong volume prior day there, and we got that push up to 8s in the pre-market. Pretty much fade and trickled down to nothing here. Look at that crumble going into the end of the day. So definitely a lot of less volume, much less volume compared to the morning session there. And you look at that coming into the next day. That breakout and squeeze pattern on Holo. So absolutely crazy there. Missed this one, but definitely looking like a little bit of a liquidity trap on micro cloud hologram. But absolutely crazy push here. Definitely squeezing a little bit there and a runner on the day for sure. Look at this percentage, man. Absolutely crazy. 100% runner on Holo. So yeah. Got to watch that one for sure, but didn't really have eyes on it today. Hopefully you guys caught a piece of that. We know that Sharif was all over this one earlier on today, so crazy moves.
All right, good. I'm in now. All right, so I'm in. I just paid for shorts, $3.50 for 1,000 shares, $3.50. Not very expensive at all for Holo. Breaking through 1150. I'm not going to put a market order in. I don't want a market order out on Holo, right? Like the thing is that although it might be the right thing to do, if we do break, what is the high exactly? 1154. So let's see if we break through that. 1161, we'll see if we can punch out of this. And we'll just use Fox River, 1175 or so to see if we're able to get those fills. So, all right, we'll average into this trade up until about 1140 or so, and then we will trigger out of that if and when it breaks. I just got to make sure that my stop order is correct here because this is going to be dancing with the devil if I don't have the right stop order. But there it is right there. Look at that, Sharif. Wow. To take one of his sayings right there. Boom. Here's 40 cents immediately on Holo. We do not cover, though, Sharif, so we're going to let this thing come back down, breaking through $11 again. We'll try it, but there it is, man. We talked about it. We put our money where our mouth is. Let's see what Holo wants to do right now to the downside. Trying to show, we're trading Tesla. That's not similar to Holo. We're trading the Nasdaq here with the TQQs. That's kind of doing something as well. We're trading Amazon, which was great. We're almost out of all of these names. And then there's Apple as well. Sirens up for Apple. This was a great trade today as well. One in, guys, and a couple outs there for Apple. Let's offer 19s. And so, we just missed it. See if we get a fill there at 19 on Apple, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah, man, so far so good here. Nice move back up there for Apple into an area where we've gotten out before. So we'll like it. There I am sitting there on Nasdaq. See if we can get a fill there on 19 with Apple. And yes, we did. So we get that little fill there on Apple. Now we'll see about moving forward where we can go from here. So good couple outs there. And of course, we go a premature boom right there because Holo did flush through 11 and now it's right back up. So watch out for, again, we'll put like one unit to work on here. We're not going to go too crazy with this name, as we know it can rip our face off. And thanks for confirming that. It was a 1 for 40, as someone said there on the chat for that split. So, okay, here we go. I'm sitting at $11.39 to get my full one unit. And then if it breaks back above, hopefully we can lose at most 40 cents on this play, and we'll work it off from there. So, yeah. We're having a good time here. I'm getting excited for the Nvidia call tonight, so that should be a lot of fun. Still really happy. We had that great space, as we talked about, with Lead Leg reporting Granite shares and everything like that, so we're really happy. And it's funny because I was talking about NVDL, and then Will Rind, who is the CEO, and I think here, he is the Granite shares. I don't want to get too caught up here, but he was also on the space. And I was talking about NVDL. There it is, founder and CEO. Okay, I didn't want to say founder. Here it is right here, Will Rind from Granite Shares. And I was talking about NVDL, and he goes, hey, that's our product.
Oh, wow.
So there we go. Right there. Maybe we'll work on getting Will in there and talk about, 1.5 levered products, things like that. We'll see if I can reach out and get him on the show and talk about maybe the structure of these alternative investments and whatnot like that. So we'll see there.
No, I think that's the great part of participating and joining in these groups. You make those connections, and you kind of there's a lot to learn, and that's surprising that that's their product.
Here comes Holo.
Shout out to them there. So we kind of talk about the TQs. The TQs still kind of grinding slowly back up off of its lows right there, but still kind of trading in and around that 21,500 mark here on the Nasdaq and the ES as well, just kind of consolidating sideways. Nothing too crazy there. That was a bit of a choke for me there. I kind of fat fingered into that Tesla long, and I was like, I was a little confused because I was like, I thought I was short for a second, but now I'm long, and it's seeming like it's kind of coming back. I do have to get out of this one relatively soon, but I'm going to be a little bit patient here as we kind of hold the range lows there. TQs also looking like they're kind of starting to consolidate on top of VWAP, but we've just been kind of grinding back up from the day lows right there. Haven't really quite reverted a decent chunk. I'd say about roughly about 30% it would seem, but yeah, we haven't really got that 50% reversion of the strong flush that we got all the way from 70, I think it was 71.90s all the way to the lows at 70s, 60s there. What's going on?
No, I just realized that this Holo stock, despite it being only, so I just got out there at 11.04 or 11.05, got out 2.5%. It's just noticing that although it's, pretty active with a lot of volume, the spread actually opens up, like now it's 5 cents. So you got to sometimes close this gap, even just to get a fill rate here on HOLO. All right, so you're still in the TQs. What are we thinking right here? Just trying to figure this out. So, our best fills have been sort of where we are right now. I'm debating, I don't necessarily want to get out of it because I am looking for an Nvidia long to maybe be a part of right there. I guess we had that opportunity and it wasn't even paying attention there. Nvidia came into 136.50 right there into this area, which we could have bought. I mean, if we buy a 136.50, we only would hold it down to this area here because it's not a tested and proven thing. I just wonder about Nvidia running here into the close. All right, Holo just went upside a little bit. So I'm gonna have to put something just in case it gets washed back down in, because we are almost breaking out right now. So here we go, holo, right back to highs. Look, we're staying disciplined, man. I mean, we've already talked about not using very many shares here. This was a name that we brought to our attention. I thought maybe against the day's high that it wouldn't want to get going further. I do think any name that reverse splits, I don't have much love for those names, but do understand that there is a lot of retail action right now on this name. We're short right here at 35s. Could get out for flat now. We don't want to do that. So let's, I put a bid down there in the low 20s to see if we can gather some of that out, because remember, if I can take an average winner here, similar to what my loser would be on the downside, then I think it's worth it at least for half of the trade. So we'll get out right now. I'm going to try to bid out of 15% down there in the low 20s. Hopefully we can grab that fill, and maybe that last little whoosh to the high side right there may have been it, but who knows. So there's a nice little pullback. Again, we're back into the money if we take the bid, but we're not going to do that because look at the spread. It needs to give one more flush to the downside for me to get filled. There it is. Yes, sir. All right. Spin it right now, man. Boom. For my guy Sharif right there. As, hey, man, there it is, man. We grab a 13. Let's go. No problem. Let's go, man. We're getting excited now. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Bloomberg.
What's Bloomberg saying?
Oh, Apple is going to change the way they identify their iOS. It's going to be labeled by the year, not by the version number.
Ooh.
Big change is happening in Apple. Oh my God, big change is happening right now in Holo. Oh boy, right now. Look at that. Boom, boom, bang. Right there. Someone said to me, am I going the way of the boom? Because Sharif, look, man, this is an OG. The bang?
Yeah.
Bang has been here for 7 years or whatever that we started it. My man over here is doing something brand new. He's changing the game. Changing the game with the boom.
With the boom, okay.
So the boom is my guys over here. We're still putting out those bangers for everybody here as well. So shout out to Sharif. Again, great comment there. Great excitement. If you're not part of the Midday show, you're definitely missing out. We've been really lucky to have such great Midday hosts in Sharif and in, I mean, Joe's all right. Yeah, he's not here, so I say that. But yeah, with Joe, you guys know the love that we have for these guys. So big shout out to them, and big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls, Sataya for filling in for Adara, who everyone wondering, where's Adara? Where's Adara? Vacation, man. Vacation, man. She's coming back tomorrow, so we'll have Adara back on the desk tomorrow, and then you'll get, what kind of memory does she have again? Eidetic. I never even heard of that before, but that means she can remember everything at all times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She remembers like the day we wore the same shirts.
I'll be like, do you remember what day, like, you know, whatever ticker reported last? And she'll like think for like not even 5 seconds, and she'll be like, oh, this date, and oh, they beat or whatever.
I'll be like, wow, asked her last
that's
time.
crazy.
It was something about Neil. Oh, it's when Neil tore his ACL, his Achilles.
Oh yeah, and she's
like, yep,
she probably remembered the exact date.
Yeah.
She probably remembered the exact date.
I think I remember. It was like, so like that was July 24th, and then you came in a couple days later. Anyways, she like knew the whole story there, back and forth. So shout out to Adara. Going to be coming back tomorrow. So there it is, right there. I don't think there's any sort of a call necessary for Sataya for this one, but Apple to rebrand its device operating systems to mark major overhaul. Okay, so we'll see if there's any love for Apple in this. I mean, I don't think that's a major thing there, but hey, it is good. The one thing you know about Apple, we can sit here and say, you know what, they've sort of haven't been part of this AI boom, and we know that. I don't think there's anything rocket science about that. But the thing about Apple is, you know, they're going to come with something, and when they do, it's going to work and it's going to be great. They have over 1.5 billion handsets right now in use. So the minute they release something AI related, it's going to be the largest AI participant in this space. So believe me, you're going to hear feedback from these guys on that, and we're going to try to get Apple great again. You know, it's they're
going to be like, we did it first.
No, they don't.
That's usually what Apple does.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they actually claim to do anything first. I mean, but what they do is they do it better. And we'll just wait to see. The #1 consumer product of all time is the Apple iPhone. Customer satisfaction, everything. It is what it is, right? I mean, we'll just wait to see what Apple comes out with. I'm excited for their new AI. I mean, have they been late to the party? Yes, but at the end of the day,
very late.
Yeah, but are they? I mean, what do you use? I just use.
Did you see
No, but I mean, what are we going to use it for? That's my whole thing. Like, we could say, okay, Google's there now. All right. I mean, I use my iPhone, for example. I talk into ChatGPT with it. Like, I'm participating in AI, but Apple's not gaining any money from that. I think that's, as a shareholder, I think that's what we worry about. But perfectly honest, we know, like, where is the money being made right now in AI? We're not being charged for anything. It's Google. They have that $250 a month where, you know, you can be part of that. ChatGPT has a monthly service there that's absolutely unbelievable. But Apple never tried to get into that sort of model. So we'll just see how the large language Siri kind of adapts to you know, the ever-changing cell phone environment, and we'll just see if they can make a winner out of it. We don't ever use Apple products on desktops. You know, really. You know, so I'm wondering how MacBook and all that's really going to be affected here with some of the AI. But Holo right now, it's a good thing we did get something out right there because, yeah, here it goes, man. Breaking 60, and we are out of HOLO, and that may happen right now. So there it is, man. We are out of Holo, and I actually flipped a little bit long. We do not want a long, so we're going to offer out right there. Maybe I just should have stayed in the long. We just got 70s there out, so we'll be up on Holo, but not enough, man. We had half of that. We talked about getting out of half, so we held half of that for that break, and there it goes, breaking higher, roughly flat on Holo. So, yeah, I hope some of you are able to get out there at that 50-period moving average, but, you know, at the end of the day, it does rip higher, and the longs win again.
That's yeah, it's a nice little shake and bake. I think, again, like I said, it seems like it's been squeezing a bit of a liquidity trap from yesterday, and that continuation's coming in into the last hour of the day here. And yeah, pretty much you got to watch out for those end of day squeezers, right? Those can definitely be very solid for opportunities. But if you're on the wrong side of that move, that can be pretty nasty as well. So definitely ones to watch out for as well. Let's see, what else am I watching? You see PDD today. PDD pretty wild here. Day 2 earnings here. So let's pull up the chart on PDD real quick. And yeah, take a look at that day 2 earnings play right here. So let me know in the chat if you guys were involved with this day 2 move here on PDD. Again, aggressive selling that came in off of that earnings report, kind of reverted a little bit there going into the close, but coming in today, nice little hold of this intraday support level from yesterday. That support holds as a little bit of resistance, also confluenced with that $100 mark. And look at that, nice little flush there with that consolidation breakdown as well. Morning session lows, nice little consolidation lows right there at 99s for another leg down on PDD as well. So yeah, some strong selling coming into this market. Look at this. We can't really get past that 21,500 just yet. And it seems like, again, we tested it from above in the pre-market session. We tried to pull into it earlier on in the opening session, just crack right through it like butter, and then kind of reverting back into it a little bit as of right now. So that 21.5 could be a little bit of an interesting level going into the close, as it is that most recent prior high there on the chart. So one to watch out for sure. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. Starbucks, I'm seeing. Okay, SBUX. Let's take a quick look at that one as well. Starbucks. Okay, so Starbucks. Now? Yeah, Starbucks, I actually came up on my scanner for a potential continuation today. You can see that definitely came in, and a little bit of a lick grab happening there. Oh boy, what is going on here? Oh my God.
Almost news. Well, we have Satya there. If she finds anything on Starbucks, she'll come with that. So yeah, have a look there. Who's calling me? Oh, Dan Ives. No, just joking. Okay, so yeah, I was saying this, I haven't even spoke to Shreve about this, but it's amazing because we sit there and I listen to like Josh Brown in the compound, and they have Dan Ives. We see Dan Ives all the time. He was on CNBC earlier today. And then to be in a conversation with him, just his like, the way he talks, like, you know, I really think AI is a way of the future. And it was just awesome to be there with him. I don't do that in a mocking fashion. It's so just amazing to see. We get that too, right? Like when people come and visit us, they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're seeing Trader TV." And it's just like everyone at the end of the day is just normal person, to be honest with you. And it's just kind of like amazing to meet some of these people. Like when JC was here, JC Perez.
That was
like,
really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. You and I went to
the
book signing that evening there, and was able to talk to him a little bit. And it's really cool to see those things. So that was a great experience. I'm really happy to be able to do that, and hopefully get invited back to some more spaces to do that as well. But for right now, I do got to handle, well, not yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, okay, let's talk about ProfitX, man. If you're looking for unbeatable odds and the biggest game, switch over to ProfitX's peer-to-peer trading and gambling platform where you set the price, no more one-size-fits-all lines. It's like crafting your own picking strategy with real-time trading tools. Secure the best odds, track the action, and watch your plays come alive. Experience total control at every step with ProfitX. It's sports playing reimagined. Make sure you do use code TraderTV to grab your 2% back up to $300. And maybe we don't do this enough, but what ProfitX does is allows you to set the lines. So like if you think tonight that or last night, whatever, Knicks game, any hockey game or whatever, if you feel that, you know, the Knicks should be favored by 8 points and not 9, you could shave that 9 points back down to 8 points and someone will hit you. And you could charge, you could say, I want plus money on that because I'm giving you an extra point, right? So, and then if the Knicks, if that number comes down, you can actually offset that by taking the Pacers. And if you have the Knicks at -8, potentially you could take the Pacers at +12 or something. All right, now the market's going down. I feel like we need to get, there has to be some sort of news or something, maybe. It doesn't have to be anything, but there's the move. Okay, now we're starting to get going here. We're starting to get stopped out on some of our plays. All right, I don't know, Satea, if there's anything over there. I know she's doing a hard job here filling in for Adara, but we are getting cranked right now. There goes Amazon to the downside. We just got long down there. I don't like this position, not knowing anything about the market right now, but it is a downside play there for Amazon. So let's take a little bit off. We're long at 15s right now. So I'm just, okay, here we go. All right. Nope, not hearing anything too much. Something about a pipeline project. All right, so there it is, man. Let's spin the money. We just made a great trade here on Amazon as it's falling back in. But where did we wind up losing there? We didn't get hit really on anything. So it's a nice pullback upside there for Amazon. We sat there and, oh boy, am I on the right stock here? This is really starting to rip, man. So nice trade there for Amazon. I'm going to start to get some out. I have no idea what cranked the market right there, but we were able to get long right there on Amazon at 205.40s. I got a little nervous, so got it. I don't know what it was. I'll double check. But there's the play right back to the upside on Amazon. And here we go, man. We're now mooning. So when moon, I don't know what that story was. Please get back to us, Satea, if you do find anything. But I'm not seeing anything right now in the market. And if there is, we're going to go find out right now from Satea.
So at 1:22, there was a article that was posted. Starbucks faces a lawsuit over alleged discriminatory restroom policy. So there isn't too much information yet in regards to what the discrimination was regarding, but that's what I'm getting. If I have any other information, I'll get back to you guys. Back to you.
This is, sorry, Stay, you probably can't hear me over there. This is market related. Like, I don't know, this just dropped to 21,400. Okay, well, here we go, man. I mean, it's going lower right now, this market. So we're going to have to find out. I can maybe search onto Twitter to see if there's anything going on. You guys let me know if there's anything going right now. The deal with Amazon, maybe. There in Stellantis, people talking about that in the chat. I'm just going to figure out if there's anything going on at all. Go through Twitter here. Oh, Zelensky now says Trump is ready to impose new sanctions on Russia. Okay, so it takes 1 second. We find that right there. That might be what it was. I don't know right there. But yeah, Ukraine's defense minister says Ukraine is not opposed to further meetings, but wants to hear more from Russia. Okay, so that's something to do with what's happening right now. We do have the Fed minutes that's just come out as well. But there it is, Satea. I mean, it's right here. Ukraine's defense minister, and maybe if you can find some more information. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm finding it right now. There it is right here. Ukraine's defense minister handed over Ukrainian version of the memorandum to the head of the Russian delegation. Not further meetings. This is what I feel like just hit right now. Now, whether or not that is a thing here about Russia, Ukraine, maybe we're getting a little further away from a resolve than we had thought. That could be bringing the market downside a little bit. It was a relatively quick recovery there, but yeah, as you can see, it is a downside play there for Amazon and for the rest. So there we go, man. A nice move to the downside as we go. So I don't know. It could be that play there as we scour through again, and we're going through so many changes here with the studio that we called up Starbucks, and Tateo was looking for Starbucks stuff, and that's great. So thanks for all of that. But the most recent move right there appears to have been something potentially related there to Ukraine and to Russia. So there it goes. If you do hear anything more about that, then we'll grab that for you. It's not a huge move. It's just something to watch out for right there. So there we go.
Definitely something to watch out for. Tesla came right through that day low. That was absolutely crazy there. So a little too aggressive on that one there. But yeah, covered that TQs on that pullback there. Breaks through low at A, kind of pulls right back up. So I'm just like, all right, well, get out of that one there. Yeah, look at that strong wick on that push there on the Nasdaq. A little bit of a catalyst-driven market here for sure. Absolutely crazy there. So look at that reversion happening now as the market rips right back up to highs there. So wild stuff there on across the board there.
Look at this fill on Tesla.
Which one? Oh boy.
There's it breaking 357, and we get stopped out. If you come over here, Andre, right there. But we didn't even. I was looking at my net. I'm like, we had 2.5% left of this trade. We actually talked about that. But there's the stop out right there. You're going to not find too much of a worse one than that right here. But we're skyrocketing now. I wish that I had maybe a little bit. I don't know. Again, we didn't know what that story was. I panicked out of it. Amazon absolutely mooned off of that. So that was a real good play there on Amazon. And we did not get longer on Apple, which kind of sucks. I was not sitting there. I was sitting a little lower on Apple. So we did not get that fill. And then Holo. That's not Holo, that's SMR. Hey, what's up, SMR? Oh, wow, SMR down there. Actually, SMR was a pretty good trade for us. Look at Holo, stopped out there almost at the top, and there comes Holo all the way back in. So there's me getting stopped out on a 60 break. It's a good thing we got out immediately. It only goes to 79, and then it falls right back in, right? And so there goes Holo. Watch out for the 50-period moving average, right back into $11 as we go to the downside right now. But, yeah, that's the problem, man. People saying they got stopped out. Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened to me there on Nvidia. On Tesla. And that's part of it. But, you know, we're lucky enough to get this fill there on Amazon. So really good trading there. We're still in like about 30% of this trade.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. It's all right. I mean, it's not a huge trade or anything.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for where the next opportunity potentially is as of right now. So again, that dump was absolutely crazy there. So that's kind of if you were in the short, that's kind of what you were looking for, and that flush all the way down to 21,400 on the Nasdaq right there, and then rips right back up. So nice little reversion happening real time there on the futures. Let's take a quick look at what the volume leaders are doing on the day once again, just to see if those names have changed throughout the day. I know we took a look at them before we left you for the midday show there, but some of these names have not changed. Some of them have. So let's take a quick look at and see what's been moving around throughout the day here. So volume gainers on the day, SPRO. We took a look at this one earlier on as well. A little bit of a push, gap up there on a catalyst right there, but pretty much sideways consolidation orbiting around VWAP on that one pretty much all day. Nvidia as well. Nvidia, we saw that in the morning. Pretty much a strong flush, but in the morning we were looking at that and being like, all right, well, kind of sideways chop, trading within yesterday's range, nothing too crazy, trading near the lows. I said that multiple times. I'm like, all right, this 135, it might hold, it might break, no idea. Guess what it does? Lick grab that low right there, and nice little push up. Push right back up and all the way back through highs, back through the opening range high as well. That was pretty wild. And look at that, flushing down, comes in and pretty much pings that opening range high on Nvidia, and then bounces right back up. So a little bit of resistance turned into support after it's already shown us that it's turned into support here, right? So again, I guess you just had to be there on the tape for that one to see that flip. SGN, not really looking at this one, but pretty much reverting a decent chunk of what it's done. NVTS, I know a few people were talking about this one, again, being in the semiconductor space here as well. Power hour, here we we go.
It's power
Oh boy, are we going to see some fresh lows on this market? No idea, but that shake and bake, that wild flush in and then pull right back up. That was pretty wild there.
That was great.
Joby, we saw that this one. Wow, this one's actually relatively strong compared to other things in the market here. So that catalyst holding up pretty well, and I guess that sentiment's carrying forward here on Joby, as I think it was Toyota that's taken an interest in them. So Big Bear AI, a little bit of bearish action on the day today, consolidating near its lows. Ford with the 1 million recall here as well, and yeah, pretty kind of downtrending on the day, but pretty much holding that VWAP as of right now. And of course, Tesla as well. Tesla, we're seeing that strong flush right here. It's funny. I kind of looked over to Sean just a few minutes ago, and I was like, I think this might get to day low. And then we get that strong volume flush, and I got a little messed up on that fat finger punch there. But you know what? It is what it is. I do got to get better at reacting right away, especially when I'm confused about a position, and I will have to definitely work on that. Not too happy about that one there. TEM again. Sean, did you know this thing had a catalyst in the morning? I totally missed this one. So this is Pelosi stock, right? TEM. So they had a short report at 9:10, and take a look at that. Right off of the open, strong flush, continuation, pretty much dead cat bounce, no real bounce here, and trading near the low of the day right there at 52.94, currently at 53.57 there on Tempest AI. So yeah, a lot of opportunity. Hollow, of course, we've seen both Sharif and Sean cover this one pretty well here. Still squeezing into the close, 1180s now, day highs on that one. Was Warner Brothers? Oh boy, yeah, this one's definitely to the upside there. Towering to the upside is Warner Brothers there. And new holdings, nothing too crazy. Sure, it's doing a little bit of volume on the day, but pretty much sideways overall. Let's see what else we got here. Palantir, of course. Sideways chop, nothing crazy today. Look at this, just consolidating, 125 chop here on Palantir. Mara, oh boy, okay, Bitcoin definitely doesn't necessarily look exactly like that, but again, like we said, it did kind of sell off of its morning prices there on Bitcoin. So Mara also taking a little bit of a pullback, reverting all of yesterday's action there. Airlines were pretty strong as well over the past couple of weeks, if I remember. Was it airlines or no? I think we were talking about banks. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was Canadian banks that were really small, really strong, but American Airlines also on this list here. Nothing too crazy, a bit of a fade, but again, doing a little bit of relative volume, so it's showing up on that volume gainer scan here on the day. Rigetti, again, we know that Quantum, IONQ, a lot of those tickers were very, very hot over the past few days, and pretty much sideways consolidation as of right now on Rigetti there. So that was a quick recap of the top volume gainers on the day. And off of that, I didn't really see too much. Maybe some, wow, look at that TQ's reversion, man. So that's absolutely wild. So I'm assuming that Nvidia probably made its way back up because it's been pretty strong on the day. Let's take a quick look at
Amazon's going back.
Yeah, so Nvidia definitely showing some strength. You're saying Amazon and Apple as well.
Yeah, every you know, good call out there on Tempest AI though. Yeah. I think that was a good one, as a lot of people are in that name. I think that the space is good, man. GE Vernova is another name that I'm not in. Definitely wish. Well, I may still have some shares from the spinoff there, but nice move up there for GEV. That was another dip by opportunity there that could have been had. Everything flushed on that. I think and this is where, and again, we were talking, not to talk about that space that I was on or anything. Oh, by the way, look at Holo. Down through 11. Right now goes Holo, so watch out. I mean, this is the play that we already had that one time stopped out there short. Purples are shorts on my screen, right? So if you ever see a down tick like that, that means we went short. We were talking about this on the space, and that is that what do? Do you use less shares now with bigger stops or more shares with tighter stops? And you and I had this conversation, and there's a perfect example of like, whoops. And then like, if you don't trade with stop orders and you come back right now, you're probably up on your long. Instead, you're getting smoked right there. Like, we have that example on Tesla there, that it's like, okay, stopped out. And then we also have that example right here. And this is why, like, look, I'm happy with this trade. Amazon will now be my P&L number one. on the day. But it's just because, again, we liked Amazon coming back into these levels, and I was sitting ahead of 205. It never broke 205. So it comes in, we get lucky, the move stops, the algos buy it right back up, and there it goes again. So some trades, you know, you're going to need to have luck on your side for sure when you're doing when you're in this business. And I think that's a good example right there of why. I saw the TLT and the Treasury was moving around earlier today, which I thought maybe started to kick off some of that market selling that we were seeing right into there. So there's the, you know, the Treasury coming back down in right there pretty much all morning. If we look at, you know, sort of what the Nasdaq was doing in the morning as well. Actually, I guess the Nasdaq was kind of flat, but there's the Treasury heading to the downside and equity as well. So right now, as we look to see what the TLT is doing, a little bit is recovering. So you do see the market recovering a little bit right now. We are now 45 minutes away from the imbalances, and then another 10 minutes added onto that, and we'll be with Nvidia territory again as we'll wait to see, you know, where those earnings come from and what's going on there. But I just feel like that was possibly just a market-wide stop. They triggered people out against that low right there, and that takes a lot of money to run the Nasdaq like that and the S&P 500, but something spooked the market right there, and yeah, ran the low, extended a little bit. Look at that candle. Like, you now have more volume there, and we weren't able to really find any story. More of a story rate, more of a move right there than at open. So like, that was a huge liquidity candle right there, needless to say. And there we go, man. TLT, looking at that as we get back to the upside right now. Amazon's ripping. Nvidia, you missed that opportunity. Well, you covered it. We both missed the opportunity. I talked about it coming right into there again, and then I'm going to sneeze. But that opportunity, where did Ramin go? She was here. I was going to say, because she was sneezing earlier as well. I'm going to mute myself and possibly sneeze. But that was a great opportunity to get longer there on Nvidia.
Again, look at how clean that reversion comes in on the TQ. So if you're looking at day low and you're like, oh boy, I'm looking to get short on the day low break, guess what? It comes in, it does come in, and then it negates it right away. So what better reason to get long on a false break of the day low with that aggressive action? And there it goes right there. There's a bit of reversion happening there on Tesla as well. But yeah, look at that, breaking through some of these all-day consolidation highs here on the TQs now. So what a shake and bake. Oh boy. I think it was somebody on the Midday show asked Sharif about if the candles that go really strong up and down within the same candle, is that like algos or something? I have no idea what it is, but what I see it as is a bit of a liquidity grab. There's definitely enough liquidity there where buyers have met the aggressive sellers and ripped it right back up there. Nice little shake and bake happening on
You like
the
shake and bake?
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Shake and bake? I mean, it's been years since I've had some, but
Same, yeah, I can't remember the last
yeah,
time.
I really don't remember, but shake and bake.
Yeah, same.
So, have it in the markets every day, though.
Yeah, it pretty much does. You're right. Oh, you know what we can look at that we haven't looked at today yet as well? At least we haven't. CoreWeave. All right. So yeah, CoreWeave hanging out still around that 120. Did we get higher than that? Oh, yes, we did in the pre-market there. I was surprised. Why weren't we talking about this more in the pre-market today? Yeah, CoreWeave had that dump there late yesterday. Wondering if that was an imbalance. It must have been, right? Because that sort of started. Well, actually, I guess it does start at 350 right there, but then real big flush. Remember, when we see those market on close imbalances, it's really important to understand that like size is going to mean everything. So if you have like 1 million to sell, there's no way. Each one of these shares is 100 shares. You don't have 1 million shares here, including dark pools and everything, right? So downside flush there, downside flush early on CoreWeave, but then battling back right now. I think this is a good little level to look at 120 again. So if we can get up into there, I think that would be a short for CoreWeave as the market does make its move back up higher. We do get some more out of Amazon as Amazon goes, oh boy, man, this is a great trade, honestly. Right back up there into view up. There's the long right there. I got filled and then just punched out of like 10% immediately. So that's why you can't really see. But there's the bid right there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because it flushes down. I'm like, get out for flat. And then it was just, I didn't even have an opportunity. You want to talk about flushing, just your example right there. This is 1 minute candle. So in a 1 minute candle, we go from 205.50 down to 205 flat and right back up. So that was $1 move there in seconds, and then seconds later, you're up more than that. Sorry, 50-cent move there in seconds times 2. Yeah, so $1. So again, that's just an example of what can happen on some of those market-wide crashes. Right there. Did Bitcoin do anything? Let's check out to see if IBIT did anything on that move as well. Could have been, right? You could have got stops run, so no. All right, so it looks like they just hunted out Nasdaq, and I don't. Oh, a breakout trade that I really like, actually, that I think could happen, and maybe we'll take it on the show if we can get it tomorrow or the next couple of days. Check out my guy, JP Morgan, right here. And look, we're in this name. We've sort of talked about liking this name down there. I'm long at from 230s. It's one of those plays that's, back into that swing account. We did buy some Marvell. I could talk about that too if you want. But what about this 270 break right here? I know there's some problems back earlier on in the year that we could sort of break it, and maybe we don't get too much past 271 there. I don't think muscle memory is strong with these couple wicks here. I'm looking at this day break right there. So if we can break above 270, then I do think that we'll remember this kind of a move and maybe start to creep back to 280. So I know $10 on 270 is not going to be a huge return, and I'm not even sure if that's an options play or anything like that, but breaking through 270, I feel like that's that next play. We've seen it with Tesla breaking through its sort of coiled up lever areas there. I don't like that we dipped this far back in, but then we were supported at 255. So I really like this play. I'm not going to add to it, but I do think that there is some reason to get out of some of the position there at 270, but then also try to buy through it to add to it on a daily show like this, where we're scalping in and out. I think there's going to be some value there for JP Morgan. You and I have traded Intel many times.
Oh, yeah.
Even together, I believe, sometimes on the show here. Yeah, flat.
When it's in play, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what? It's hitting the scanner. I'll show you right here. So I'm trying to look at this is an e-signal scanner. Yeah, just a VWAP there. Okay, so it's right back there into VWAP right now. So it's also showing me the SPY. It's showing me Intel, SMR, Google. So there's a few plays that we need to make, but right into there, $20.50, potentially a short incoming there for Intel, but I don't know if I'd want to go short anything. We just want to wait to see what happens with Nvidia. What about a day high break heading into earnings? I don't know, man. It's a nice move up there.
It's well within range. I mean,
and this is coiling too on the daily, right?
It's definitely breaking out. I think on the intraday, it could be very choppy and noisy, but that move is obviously building and happening on the higher time frame, right?
Right.
It's just a matter of time and patience to see if it does actually come to fruition on the market itself. But looking interesting.
Pretty good there.
Yeah, Apple's looking interesting as well. It's kind of chopping that 200 higher time frame here. Again, I did get a little sweaty. I guess in the personal when we kind of came all the way down here, started consolidating near 67s. That's funny. 167.84 is the low right there. That's funny enough. Pretty close, relatively close to my average, and then picking it right back up for that 200 chop as of right now. So didn't really sell anything all the way up here at 259s, but that 200 hold as of right now looking okay there on Apple, but no idea what it's going to do going forward into the future here. So another name that I kind of wanted to keep on watch was Netflix here. Netflix kind of every day, a little bit of a bid every day, and that definitely adds up when you go on to the weekly and take a look at what this thing's been doing on a bigger picture. It just go up. You can see that since 2022, April, May of 2022, we've only been pretty much catching a bid on a higher time frame on Netflix. More of the same. We had that aggressive sell-off. When was this? This was, so 21 November 2021. And then that comes in, aggressive sell-off, and then a V-shaped recovery. Not only do we V-shape recover, we blast off to infinity and beyond, like we said yesterday, on that push through that 1,000 mark, through that prior all-time highs as well at 700, right? So aggressive push, nice little continuation on Netflix. And we were talking about this earlier as well. I was like, yeah, their consumer base is pretty much the whole world, right? They don't really, and it's like it's just I don't know if it's continuing to grow, but it's definitely very, very dominant there, and the chart itself kind of is showing us that as well. So Netflix definitely something to watch out for. AVGO also creeping up into its all-time highs, only about $10 away. Currently trading at 240 halves, the all-time high sitting here on the daily at 250.45. So that thing's coming up into all-time highs as well. So yeah, a lot of these tickers, just a few weeks ago, we were like, oh, are we going to go back to these lows? Are we going back to the dumps? We're in a bear market, this, that, and the other. The political sentiment takes a shift. Tariffs kind of, we're kind of, sentiment's a little quelled on, fears are quelled on the sentiment shift on tariffs, and boom, all the way back to all-time highs for not a lot of these names, but for a lot of these names that we do keep on watch, and a lot of names that are heavily weighted in these markets here. So pretty solid stuff there. And let's see what I think I missed a message earlier from Eri Pages, basically asking if what do I think about trading Canadian tickers like an RY or a TD on the show? Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. That's more than within range of our capabilities here. And you can see that we were just talking about this earlier as well. Canadian banks to the upside, very, very strong. I don't know if the American banks are looking very similar. I know you were just looking at JPM. So higher time frame, you know what? Let's go even higher. Let's go straight up to a weekly, because we're looking at pushing highs right there. So yeah, pretty much very close. 278 halves is all-time highs on the weekly chart here on JPM. 264.20 is currently trading. But yeah, when you compare them to the Canadian tickers, sure, we'll take a look at TD on the NYSE. All right. So TD on the NYSE, you can see 73.81 currently trading at 68. If you go to TD on the TSX, the chart will look relatively the same, but you can see here, adjusted for price, we are pushing all-time highs on TD. So almost at 100, 94.83s, it seems like was the current week high, and currently trading at 94.40. So only about 40 pennies away from all-time highs. And RY, kind of a similar story here, all-time high push on RY as well. So very, very strong are these Canadian banks. Yeah, not really the same story for American banks. So we can take a quick look at XLF as well, just to see what the financial sector is doing. And you can see, yeah, almost near its highs. So relatively similar there, but not quite just the same when it comes to banks. But yeah, more than. Have you ever traded Canadian banks on the show at all? Or
no, we do. Bank of Montreal does report tonight before market open tomorrow. Actually, no, today. It was actually, I already did today, up 2%. So BMO. Today. No, we don't really. I mean, sometimes, we'll talk about sometimes in Toronto. We don't do it too often, but there can be imbalances, things like that. So those could play a little bit there sometimes for that. So, yeah, I just heard in my ear something about President Trump again and chips. So I don't know. We'll wait to see if there's anything going on. President Trump is now speaking. So we always be very cautious of all of that. All right, so what's going on tonight? Well, here it is right here, man. Some sort of a name like NVIDIA reporting. The last move was 8. They had record numbers last time, and the move was down 8%. So we'll see what happens here today. The implied move right now, 6.7%, as we can see right there for NVIDIA. So if you go over to NVDA right now, and we go 6% onto 136, what is that? 136.71. 065. So was it 65 or 67? It doesn't really matter. $9, give or take $9 or so on this move is what we're looking for. So pull back into 125, fine. If we do get the $9, we go to the upside, then we are close to all-time highs again. So that's going to be something interesting for sure for us to look at here with NVIDIA right now tonight, actually, not right now, tonight. For NVIDIA. Oops, now we're covering that up. Bank of Montreal already had that. There's Salesforce, 7.4% move there for Salesforce. So watch it tonight with, again, Sharif and I will be going over all of these plays, and you could see it should be released. I don't know if it shows the time. Right there, it just says aftermarket close. Synopsis there, Vertiv. Not too much. There's HPQ. So they'll be coming through tonight as well with a 7% report. Pure Storage used to be a name that we would talk about. Oh, yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods. That was this morning, 1.5% on that play as well. So not too bad there. That's about it. Oh, Elf Beauty tonight. Wow, 15%. You could see implied move for Elf. I like that stock, and I actually like the other name there in the cosmetic space, Ulta Beauty. We'll have a look there. That was a name, eyelashes, that Warren Buffett was in and out, I believe. Ulta Beauty, one of those names there. Abercrombie this morning. Oh, yeah. Wow, it's, you know, Abercrombie's implied move, it says it was 13%. Its move is 13%, so nice little call there. But we'll wait for Nvidia to come through tonight. Salesforce, like the name, down 0.7%. Did Nvidia just take the day's high right there? No. So Nvidia does come back in. I'm gonna, it's 320 now. Do we still like that trade? So I'm still sitting at 136.31s. Let's try it. If we can come back into here, we'll see if we can get that bid on Nvidia. A name for me worth sitting around for. So let's wait to see if we are able to get something there on Nvidia and then try that long. So we'll figure out where we go. So, all right, Nvidia, nice downside move there. We'll see if it can hold 136.30 there. But yeah, definitely coiling up. Looks like it has a good chance of beating, man. 8.5% last time to the downside. We'll figure out where it goes today. I know there's a lot of people betting on it, so join Sharif and I again for the recap show, and we'll be talking all about Nvidia and where we go. We'll run through some of the numbers. If we hit those expectations, then a lot of it's going to be about the guide and what some of that wording is. So maybe we get a little bit of a later move there when Jensen is on the call, which I assume he will be. Got something still in the corner of my eye. Let's go ahead.
Swimming today?
Yeah, I went swimming.
Yeah, how was that?
Good. It's always pretty good, man. It's always just nice and relaxing. There hasn't been, I think the weather's been really nice.
Oh, it's been
outside here. So it's just kind of like back-to-back days where it's been pretty dead in the pool, which is nice, man. Today I had a lane to myself for half of it, which was pretty good. I'm incorporating the back.
Nice.
You know, the back stroke in there right now.
Oh boy. Yeah.
A couple cracks.
I gotta start hitting the gym again. Finding that you know that what was it? Certain jeans are getting a little uncomfortable, I'd say.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Because I was like, I kind of slowed down my working out significantly.
Yeah.
And it took a couple months, but it's definitely starting to trickle in. So I'm like, all right, well.
I have some bad news for you. As you get older,
yes.
yeah, it becomes less and less. All right, because they have radar. Well, don't listen to this idiot. Who are you referring to? Yourself, David? Us? You? I don't know who. NVIDIA beats top and bottom. Maybe there was somebody in the chat that you're talking to here because they have radar. Radar trader? I don't know. Love you, chat, says David. So, radar. Yeah, man, I mean, I do think NVIDIA, I mean, we can go back and look at some of their past reports and see, but yeah, I do think they will beat on the top and the bottom line. I just worry about what the pin action, like, are we going to get an upside trade on the price of the stock? And I think that's all that we really worry about, right? You know, an 8% move would be great. Are we going to get more than that? I'm not sure. We're always one headline away from these chip names just taking a complete 380, 360, 180. I was going to say 380 doesn't make sense, nor does 360, but a complete 180, right? Like, you could be blasting ahead, and then the next thing you know, bang, some headline comes out, and they're no longer allowed to sell anything in China, or I don't know. I don't know what the story's going to be. That's sort of my thoughts right there. Let's go over to Satea.
So SNPS and CDNS are making a move after Trump orders U.S. chip designers to stop selling to China. So that is the big news headline. Back to you.
SNPS. See what's going on over there. Let's pull that one up.
Right.
SNPS. I saw the chart right away. There, thank you, Satea. And SNPS. Let's see what's going on here. Oh boy, to the downside. As of right now, 500. It was trading at 501s. Currently trading at 478s. Bye-bye to the downside. So I'm going to assume that this had something to do with. Okay, so technology services, packaged software. Let's see where they're from. Boom, Sunnyvale, California. So, okay, so I guess somebody knows something about how this is related to what Trump is saying. But again, don't really need to go into that other than just the price action here. We can see that nice little flush there. Let's see if there's continuation. Maybe look for a potential reversion here. But again, when things get the presidential seal, Sean, it seems like as of late, you just got to get with the trend as much as possible. Like he told us to buy a couple times, and both of those times were pretty interesting times on when you kind of cross-references them with the charts there. But yeah, Tesla's trading back below that 360 right now. So SNPS, I'll keep that on the side and keep that on watch. Again, the news coming in the last hour of the day. Potentially, I don't know if I really want to consider that a day one and consider tomorrow day two, but I usually do it like a day half and then day 1.5. Whenever catalysts kind of come out like that, because not enough time to kind of digest, or didn't have the whole session to kind of digest digest the information. But let's see what the price action does in the after hours as well. But if anybody's trading this as of right now, you can see that beautiful continuation happening right now as we trade even lower. So I guess news disseminating and dissipating across the land, it would seem, on this news, and we're getting that continuation to the downside here. The futures, however, we've been talking about shake and bakes. Definitely a shake and bake here. We clip the lows, we come into the consolidation highs, we clip those highs, we come right back into the range, and guess what? That 21,500 reject on that prior wick there, prior 15-minute candle wick. Pretty much trading sideways, doing nothing right now. Tesla the same. We didn't quite revert as well as we did here on the TQs, but the TQs themselves also coming right back in to that VWAP consolidation. So you gotta stay wary in this market. You gotta be on your feet, have the stops in, and definitely lots of opportunity if you are executing in an effective manner in this market. Because like I said yesterday, these legs, man, oh boy, if I could whistle, I definitely would be. These legs are absolutely amazing each way, right? You see, you get that first leg, that reversion comes in, that second leg back down comes in pretty crazy, or you get that leg consolidation and that continuation leg comes in pretty strong as well. So this market full of opportunities.
Have you heard of ZZ Top?
ZZ Top?
Yeah.
ZZ Top?
For your obsession with legs, they have a great song. ZZ Top. She's got legs, and she knows how to use them. And then these guys with these huge ass beards.
Really?
Look it up, man. ZZ Top. All right, Andre, where's my guy Fabian? We got a poll. We got to put a poll up, man. We're a half hour away.
Oh boy.
Let's put a poll up.
Let's put them up.
Nvidia, green or red? It's a very, very simple poll. And what we're going to be referencing is the move tomorrow morning when we log in at 9:30 tomorrow. So this is what we got to say. At 9:30 tomorrow morning, will Nvidia be red or green? And that's it. We don't have to say we're going to break all-time highs. We're going to be up or down 5%, 10%, whatever. Here we go. So just to go back to David, and there's been some chat here on the screen. I just want to get this poll out. Let's see. So here we go. All right. So their last report, beat. The last report before that, beat. Thank you to Grok for this. Beat. Like it stole something.
Yeah.
All right. Like here, I mean, here's the consensus EPS, right? 84 cents, they come with 89. 70 cents, they're there with 81. 64, they're there with 68. These were monsters, right? Back in 2024. Minus 50 cents, or sorry, approximately 50 cents, 60 cents, 34 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents, 27 cents. So all of these just kept on coming through, right? So the revenue, billion, and estimates as well, really starting to kick out. Look at the revenue numbers, right? We're going to see, can they come up with this rate there today? We're looking for $43 billion in quarterly revenue. We'll see if that comes through. So we're going to find out there. Thank you to Grok for that. You can ask, like I said, I'm using ChatGPT and Grok, it feels like, more right now. And the only Grok because it's built in there. I have Twitter open. I have ChatGPT open. Is there a large language model that you prefer, Obi?
I use the paid version of GPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I like that one
cool.
really well.
What is that?
It works really well.
There's different expenses.
It's 25 USD
US.
a month.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
So,
more than worth it. I got a couple of buddies that pay for the pro version, $200 a month.
Whoa!
But they're actually making money.
Why do you pay for it? What are you finding that's the advantageous for yourself?
I'm working on a few things.
Okay.
So I'm learning
coding, maybe?
I'm learning from a couple of friends who have used this tool to start making a decent amount of money.
All right.
And kind of learning from them. So learning the playbook from them. So I'm going to be kind of you gotta have a bunch of side hustles. So I'm
100%.
that as well on the side. So definitely well worth it if you're using these tools to benefit you and work for you.
Yes, for sure.
As well. So yeah.
I know there's a lot of people, using it on social media. It writes emails. It does pretty much everything for you these days. So a great look. You know, another name that we haven't looked at too much here. Again, remember, join us right now. Do not go anywhere. Like in a half hour, man. Well, I'm going to be logging in up there. We're going to show you live level 2s of Nvidia, of AMD, of all of the plays that we potentially can find for you live on air. Salesforce as well. We're going to be watching them all. Like, I'm sure there's going to be lots of opportunities to get the stories out there, and Shreef's going to be covering, sort of the P's and Q's. We'll be going through what the price action is as well there on NVIDIA. So if you definitely want to be here for that call. Look, I like Webull, but we're near the low of the day here on Webull. So I'm not going to be too aggressive with this play or anything like that, but this is another one of those names where I'm debating buying Webull. This is dramatic. I'm not buying it because I think it's going back up to $60. I don't even think it's going back to $20 anytime soon. But you're only at $13 and you've been holding these bottoms, right? Sometimes, when we IPO, someone thought the valuation of this was somewhere correct around $15 when it came to market. I'm going to have to double check the action that day. I do not believe it dropped to $10 that day. That would concern me a little bit buying at 13 because why did we get to 10? Why wasn't it bought up a little bit before then? But you kind of, let me zoom in a little bit here. What I mean about this is that if we've taken that low, I almost would like to see it one more time, try to hold $12. And the play there would be similar to what I'm thinking about with Target. And I want to thank Brian for this, Brian Shannon. We were talking about when you're looking at a chart and you're wondering if it made the lows, right? What you want it to do is sweep the bottom and come back. So if we look at a Target weekly there, right into here. So we go back into, this is 2020, some of those lows. Obviously, we're not going to go, you don't need to go all the way back in time. There's going to be, this was a good time. But just when we had that panic there in 2020, what you're looking for is these lows. So this low rate here of $90 actually was the top back in 2018, the top that we blew through there. Then we had, obviously, the dip down in there 2020, 2021. And then, so you're looking for 90. Well, if we go right into there, we actually went underneath it down into $87 there, then retook that low. So we scooped the bottom and was bought right back up. So for me now, that shows you that there's some kind of buyers down there, or else we may have not got bought back up and seen some of these lows. So this is what I like for Target, just trying to coil up and a potential move a lot higher for TGT. So let's wait to see. We knew, I forget the word there for shoplifting that they kept calling it, but not spoilage, but...
What? For shop? There's like
for businesses that were claiming, like they were suffrage, I think it was. I don't know.
Okay.
But
shrinkage? People are in the chat saying shrinkage.
Yeah, it could be shrinkage.
A lot of shrinkage.
But a lot of shrinkage there happening in the chat. Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode.
Oh boy.
George was like, does she know I just came out of a cold pool? Okay, so not that we have any experience with anything like that. The thing about it was, so I was just going to say, I was a little bit nervous, and I've seen some videos, shout out to Danielle Shea and some people here. You're going into Targets and into Walmarts, and the diapers are locked. The razors are locked. Formula, anything that has been a shrinkage issue for some of these retail names is just, it's not a great shopping experience.
No, it's not.
And when you can... Go ahead.
I remember going to I think Walgreens or CVS in the States. I was surprised at what kind of stuff they have locked up.
Right.
and you have to call someone over.
Right, and it's theft. I mean, it is stealing. That's why I called it theft at the beginning, right? It's people are stealing from these stores. I'm not going to get into the politics of they're stealing because they can't afford it, and certain people have created this from happening. But it's just it's a game that the retail has to fight. I just think it's so easy on Amazon. Like, sure, there's porch pirates and all that kind of stuff, but I just feel safer and better about buying those products there. So that was my worry about Target. So I do, before we stamp that as the ultimate buy, I like to see that maybe another quarter to come through. But I still like it breaking through $100. But there's Webull, and another name that's already proof of concept, man. Robinhood's, they're gaining more clients every single quarter, man. More customers, more money under management or under custody there for Robinhood, and the more money, the more you can do with it. So the gold card, this and that. No, I'm not talking about the $5 million immigration card that Donald Trump is posting out there, but gold card there for Robinhood and for SoFi. They're coming up with different things that we can watch out for. Affirm's another name in the new finance realm, and then we get that news today with Fannie Mae and Palantir, right? I mean, AI is hitting many different pilferage. Yeah, that's a good word. I think that might be the one I'm looking for there. Thank you to whoever that was there in the chat. But yeah, that's going to be something to watch out for the Walmarts. And I don't see it happening too much in Costco's. But anyway, some of those videos, I hate seeing those videos because the employees just can't do anything about it, especially when the government and some of the policies there aren't to lock these guys up.
Yeah, I think it was certain states. It's just like, there's a certain
limit, like
like $500 or like $1,000. Like the cops aren't even going to show up or something because it's not worth their time. And that's wild. Those places must be straight up PvP zones, like player versus player zones, because it's the wild west pretty much.
Yeah, and then you're a security guard that's maybe paid minimum wage or something.
It's not worth your time.
Like getting stabbed because a guy's running around with Jordans or something.
Yeah, I'm not risking my life for $20, $30 an hour. Bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. So, all right, are we doing anything with you over there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just.
I thought there was something you had to.
Oh yeah. So, remember, traders, listen up. First month free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips. All in one platform, don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code and check the link in the description. That's our friends at eSignal. Right there. So this market, though, is giving me a little bit of a signal as well. And that signal is maybe there are more sellers than buyers going into the close as of right now, because that selling is continuing to happen. Again, we saw a little glimpse of it earlier with that strong Quadunk, and we got that reversion as it kind of balanced itself out. Selling stepping right back in, seeming like they are still definitely in charge. Again, on the TQs, right off of the open, failure to follow through into 72s on the TQs, sellers step in. All day grind, all of a sudden something happens, a little bit of a shake and bake, selling steps in aggressively. We get reverted, pretty much balanced right back up through those consolidation highs, and then guess what? Selling steps right back in to bring us back into these prior consolidation lows here. You can see that here on the Nasdaq and the ES as well. So some strong selling coming into the close. So I want to know how many people are short into the close. I guess I'm satisfied with where I covered that TQ short there. I covered it on the flush. So again, that's kind of what I was looking for, that day low to get taken out. It got taken out. We ripped right back up. I'm like, all right, thank you, come again. That's all I was looking for, and I got out of that one. But what a great reason to buy that was for a short-term scalp, as it gave you that nice little reversion. But again, you got to be on your toes in this market. That selling coming right back in. And again, with that whole chips thing, the chips in China thing, I don't know if that throws a wrench into the works there with Nvidia earnings. So we'll have to see how that reacts as well with this, I guess, new piece of information on Nvidia earnings eve there as well. But Synopsis, I'm watching that. I'm continuing to watch that, continuing to sell off here. So I don't know if this is the kind of reaction we're going to get here on Nvidia. But
this is the problem,
again, this is the issue. You can have all these crazy confluences, and then I'll look at SMH as well. So let's
We're long Nvidia.
Let's see what that does. So Sean's long Nvidia right now. So let's see.
I don't know if it's
You're looking for
bang-worthy or
that
not, but-
pop into the close off VWAP, or
Yeah, no, it was just, it literally, you know, I had a thread that was really bothering me, so I had to go look in the mirror and get rid of that there quickly. But no, Nvidia came right into the area that we had talked about before, you know, on that flash move down. You know, we stopped there. And again, it could have been that China chip news there as well, as we did hear, I guess, some words about from the Ukraine as well. We don't really know. But at the end of the day, Nvidia just came right into that area. We definitely wanted to buy that. I mean, I'm trying to be, you know, a little bit trying to front run that move if it did come in there by just sitting there and taking it. But the problem is it just went all the way down. And I was like, okay, well, at least we got a VWAP there. So I'm going to stop out, though, if we take out VWAP. And I don't need to be involved with this at all. So 135, where is VWAP exactly on my chart? I mean, I know it's going to be, shouldn't be, but 136 flat or so for Nvidia there. What do I have it on my other chart? Yeah, basically exactly the same price. Didn't really matter. Yeah, so 136. So 135. Let's just go a little lower than that. We're not playing. We have basically one unit on right now. It's not going to be a huge trade here like that. So we had like 3 units on for Amazon, for example, because Amazon fell into a level that we were trying to support right there. So that's why I panicked and actually got some out there. And then when it went up in the same minute, we were taking 50 cents, and then it just, you know, so that turned out to be a pretty decent move there for Amazon. But for Nvidia, it's just falling into our lap, and we don't. You know, catching falling knives is actually some work that I've been doing, and it's kind of like what you're talking about. You know, there it goes. Look at that. Look what happens when it breaks there. Pretty aggressive move down. So,
there it is.
Okay, so we're out. So I mean, whatever. I have to slap a fail. We'll give back, I was going to say less than 5% of the day there on that move. So I think that's well worth it right there on Nvidia. The only trade we made all day was into that support, into that. And we had talked about it, and this is why, and it's funny because, again, not to still talking about the space that we were on, but we were talking about that, and that is like at any minute, something, here we go, the report that, right. So President Trump has ordered chip designers to stop selling to China. All right, so that's not great. So that's why that Synopsis is down 12.8% as well, down to $45. And that's why most likely Cadence Design Systems, we could look at Celestica maybe, some other names like that, chip designers. So what is ASML doing right now possibly? Again, there we go. So there's ASML falling back down. Is that Lam Research, LRCX right there, could be making a downside move as well. So, you know, we're not just pretty face over here, Obi. We're trying to figure this all out together. Now, is ARM I'm seeing is moving around as well right there. Yeah, ARM to the downside. What's up with that bear? Is that like the the evil and the good?
yeah, pretty much. I was having a talk. I was having a talk with the bear, and I was like,
You realize that bear doesn't really speak, but
"Oh, it speaks to me." Sean.
okay, good.
So
Down with that.
it speaks to
We
me,
have a
and guess what?
psychologist number here? Yeah.
I was, you know what? I was short TQs right off of the open. I
tell
was
him.
short 70. Where was I short? Here, there go. Oh boy. There
Let me
goes-
know if he cares, but that's
Guess what time is it?
Mother
It is-
Market. Remember you said like the people texting you as the market.
Yeah. Oh, down in the DMs. Yeah. So.
The
We'll see.
imbalances are DMing Obi.
Yeah, no, exactly. They're like, hello. No, okay. So I was talking to someone here. I was like, dude, yeah, I was already short. What can I do? What can I do? I fat fingered long by accident, and then I gave a
I
decent
hate the
chunk
fat
back.
fingers, man.
What did I do? I basically choked. But I was doing it. I heard you. I heard you early.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, talk.
Thank you for capturing
better
that
to talk later than
intimate
show
moment.
everybody that you're.
It's a little private. It's a little proprietary as well. It's a proprietary bear, real trading bear right here. The bull's right there as well. But, you know, whispering sweet nothings into my ear this morning
Is that what it's doing?
for the TQ short. And I was like, boom, you can see that right there.
Oh.
Bing, bang. that's the entry, and then that's
There's
the
the
last
move.
exit. And then there's the move on the TQs, right, or the Nasdaq right there as well. So crazy
Look at Apple.
stuff right there. Sometimes you just gotta listen to the bear, listen to your gut, and then we talked about that initial idea yesterday as well. Like, what was the initial idea? Does that continue to work? Can you keep kind of pushing into it? And it seems like TQs was the place to do that today.
I don't think there's any better strategy than gut instinct. You know, we talk about the spidey senses, and you just gave an example right there. Neil doesn't talk too much like that, but same thing with the buyouts and things like that. You know, if he's talked about it on the show before, sometimes if something doesn't seem right about a price or like that US Steel deal, and this is why I'm talking about this, because it can happen to any style of trading, whether momentum-wise, futures trading, anything like that. If something doesn't look right, most of the time it's not. You know, and I think we got that flush there. We weren't able to find too much news. Then it continuation flush. I mean, look at the move on Nvidia. And by the way, Apple, we're going to take another piece out right now. We're going to flatter and flatter. We have Amazon long, Apple long, that's it. But this Nvidia move, look at it on a 5-minute chart here. I mean, you've just given it all back. This is the whole day. You know, like we opened up this morning up here. You know, Nvidia, well, it's going to show that we're going to be flat based on yesterday's close, but we opened up upside on Nvidia today. This is 930 right here, 136.20s or so. We fell back into 135. I'm not worried about this kind of a move other than the fact that it's a headline about chips that we're not going to be happy to hear about being long. There with President Trump talking about better not do this, better not do that, because the next thing you hear, what if if Nvidia says something about China in their morning, there's a headline here about Nvidia or something. So we'll wait. I don't want to talk all pessimistic about it because I am pretty optimistic about many names in this market, and I'm still optimistic about Nvidia. Nvidia's had the move on Nvidia has been epic, man. 84, whatever the bottom was, up to 134 in a month and a half. Like that's 70% or whatever in a month and a half on Nvidia, one of the third largest now market cap name in the world. Or maybe it's even higher than that right now. Boeing has had a run of it lately as well. They get that Christmas gift again from the UAE and Saudis there buying, I don't know what it was, 400 planes or something like that. They can't even make them that fast. So right now, Boeing, huge moves to the upside as well. And I still think there's an olive branch coming from China on Boeing there. So, you know, any kind of a move down, I think we want to buy some more Boeing to get diversified away from some of these chip names. So I think Boeing can work there. We already talked about Starbucks a little bit earlier on today. I think these guys can win, especially if there is, like, look at that. There's the drop. There's the rip upside there for Starbucks. I think they can win as well. You talk about an extended coil. Starbucks, yeah, baby. Break through this $90 mark. It's giddy up on that, and lattes for everybody. If we break through that $90 mark, I think that's going to get an upside push there for Starbucks. And then, honestly, Tesla is a big story as well. Oh, and by the way, look, that's crazy. Tesla's still top 3 for me today. Amazon 1, TQ's 2, Tesla 3 on the day. Huge move down, man. Hasn't really been gotten off that. It hits the 50-period moving average. Now we're right back to the downside. I think 350 in play tomorrow, if not today, if these imbalances go the wrong way. Let's have a quick little look at these imbalances right now just to see what we may or may not be dealing with coming into the close. Now, we're only looking for ones that say broker here. These NASDAQ ones will be left over from 930. If there's any sort of an imbalance, this is going to be a penny stock that doesn't get traded. There's not enough interest. It will just hang around and update. NASDAQ should use AI and clear these because they're not valuable, or we should clear them right now. I could sort by time and solve this whole problem. But there's Pfizer right there with a sell. Synovis with a sell as well. Ford with a buy coming in there at the end of the day. ADT. We don't see any earnings names on here. We're looking for New York names. CRM was a New York name, by the way. Did that switch? Oh, it still is a New York name. I was going to say, maybe they need to switch over to the NASDAQ and get that false bump just for doing that. But I don't see any CRM on here. Maybe if I sort it alphabetically. I'm just going to do this for all of you guys out there because I know there's a lot of interest in playing options. So let's just see. Oops, Z. There you go, A. Let me just see if there is anything on CRM to see if there's anything we can get going here. There it is, CRM. So we're looking for the broker one. So it's a bid right now of 34,000 shares. So not a huge bid right there for CRM. That's coming from our broker. So that's the one we look at early. So 34,000 right now as a buy on Salesforce. So not a whole heck of a lot happening. We'll resort that for size. As you can see, lots of names with zeros right now and lots of names with bids and offers. So we'll wait to see there bids and sells for Salesforce as that's coming in right now as well. Bitcoin, unfortunately, guys, I believe it's looking like it's at day's low, and it is. So not great. We're going to have to hold that 107. Well, should IBIT and Bitcoin move on NVIDIA earnings? Probably not. Let's see this poll. So, Obi, I don't know if you voted yet. Do not look at the results. Where do you think this poll is for NVIDIA? Red or green for tomorrow? First of all, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, NVIDIA, based on today's closing price of 135, whatever, do you think we open up higher or lower than 135 tomorrow morning at 9:30?
I mean, if I were to take an absolute guess, a shot in the dark.
All that it would be.
I'm just going to base it off of the wind up on the chart that we've been seeing. I'd say a gap up.
Gap higher. Okay, so let's see now what the results are. Yes, so you are 62% agreeing with you there, Obi. 60% saying green, 38 saying red. I voted for green as well because I don't think it will be as dramatic of a move as the expected move is.
It could be nothing as well.
That's what I was going to say. I just think it'll be green because green, but we gave the options there, just green or red. But the actually implied move here for NVIDIA is 6.5%. So 6.7% for NVIDIA, 7.4% for Salesforce. I will go under and over. I'll go under 7 for NVIDIA's move and over 7 for Salesforce's move.
Okay.
Synopsis was actually, they report tonight as well.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So you want to talk about a name
way.
right here. So this is what I mean. Whatever they have prepared that they were going to talk about, maybe now they may not want to guide right there based on the fact that they may or may not be allowed anymore to go through China. Oh shit. The balances are out.
Oh boy,
so we might have missed that right there. Let me just adjust this so we can just have the brokers showing up. It's a hard sell, eh?
Look at that.
Yeah, so there it is, man. AT&T.
At the short TQs in the first 15 minutes. That's all you had to do.
Well, didn't that bear talk to you about that something about that? Right there. Okay, I'm going to get out of Amazon right now. I don't have any more love for this as it goes back into the downside. Great trade. Amazon, my #1 name, just because of that move. Basically, we did have it earlier, though, as well. So Amazon was a great trade off at 205. I'm just going to get out because I don't have too much interest. It actually doesn't look very dramatic at all right now. I'm not seeing any NVIDIA on here at all. Very, very light. So I think people are heeding some advice right now and not trading NVIDIA into this disaster close that they've been having. I mean, it's not a great close for NVIDIA, right? I mean, there it goes, man. It was up 1.5% at the highs when we were talking about it, and I was thinking about going long, and then all of a sudden, boom, the story changes for NVIDIA and for the whole chip space. Is it an NVIDIA-only story, though? Is it also happening here to AMD to the downside? Yes. So I was also wondering, is it de-risking heading into the report? But looks like it's nationwide here. I did buy, not a great time to buy Marvell at lunchtime on that news, but I think we're okay. I'm not sure exactly the price. We got 65 change, I guess, now down to 64 as well. Refrain, yeah, have that espresso because we're about to come with some serious earnings. Get your coffee ready to go. There, join Sharif and I for everything you want to know about the NVIDIA earnings. Man, we're gonna have a live level 2 up. We're gonna be covering this for you as we go on NVDA. Good opportunity maybe to get us some Apple. Where's Holo today? Look at Holo, man. We were short basically at the high of the day. But it's not good enough, man. Candies and nuts and everything but nice move to the downside. It breaks through $10, $9.80 VWAP hold there for Holo. Boy, oh boy, did we have that one. That would have been a nice little one there as well. So, all right, man. NVIDIA getting ready to do NVIDIA things.
Oh boy.
Coming here into the close as there goes Amazon, man. Sometimes that smell test works. Get out before it breaks. Out of Amazon right now and just going to work my way out of Apple.
Yeah, I think that definitely one to watch out for. NVIDIA going into the close. How do we close? How do we react? Right. I think that's a big part of it. How does the market digest the report, and how do we end up coming into tomorrow? How does day one go? Right. Even we talk about maybe not trading it today. You could be even more patient. You can let it. You can let it consult. You can let it do whatever it wants to do on day one. Maybe get involved on day 3, or maybe even be more patient and get involved on day 2 or day 3. Right. So 70s. Oh boy. coming in here on the TQs as we flush hard to the downside. Bit of a rejection of that 21.5 right there. There goes Tesla into that 357 we were talking about in the morning. So it took all day to kind of get back all the way down to back down to 357s, and we're doing that right into the close here with only about 7 minutes left in the day. Something I didn't notice here, Sean, was that the weighting. So you know that I bring this up every now and then. How the Nasdaq and the Spider are weighted in the markets or in terms of their constituents. Softy currently taking the lead. Again, these get updated every day. So Softy,
okay, let's look at this.
It's weighted. So this is the Nasdaq 100.
Right.
So Softy coming in at 11.66. Nvidia currently at 11.33. Now this could obviously change big time by tomorrow. Right? Apple coming in at 10.29, and look at that. Those are the top three, and look at the distinct difference in fourth place. Amazon at 7.5. Now, of course, Google's a little bit of a special case because altogether it does about 14, and it's weighted higher than anything else, both when you include both the Class A and the Class C shares. But yeah, something to watch out for. Oh boy, definitely some aggressive selling coming in on this close here, Sean. So one to watch out for. Definitely going to be an interesting earnings session there after hours. So stick around for the market recap. But first, we got to do some bills here. So Trade the Pool. We've been showing you the homepage for Trade the Pool for a while now. But today we want to highlight a section of the site that you may have missed. And trust us, you'll want to check it out. It's Trade the Pool's video on demand library, and it's so much more than just content. It's a space built to help traders grow with real stories of funded traders, strategy breakdowns, hard lessons, and mindset tips that you can actually apply into your own trading. And there's more. The note feature allows you to save the most valuable takeaways from videos so you can quickly revisit the exact moments that mattered. It's like your own personal bookmark. The best part, it's completely free. If you haven't explored it yet, now's the time. Head to tradethepool.com and click on the VOD library tab. So check our friends out at Trade the Pool there. So we just talked about the Nasdaq 100. Yeah, the market's getting absolutely crushed. I'm a little, I wouldn't say cheesed, but I would definitely say cheddared that I flipped long on that Tesla while I was already short, and that comes in real nice. But you know what? Where's the next trade? That's what I'm thinking right now. And going back to the weight here, S&P 500. Softy, once again, above NVIDIA, coming in at a 6.18% weighting, with NVIDIA coming in at 6.01, and then Apple coming in third place, 5.46. And again, Alphabet pretty much the leader when you take into account both their sets of shares, Class A and Class C. That's the Goog L and the Goog in that order there. So Meta coming in underneath that 3%. So just something I like to keep an eye out for. I'm curious to know, I'm just mentioning because I'm curious to know whether or not that will change and whether NVIDIA will reclaim its spot as a number one constituent there in both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 coming in as of tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting, but yeah, Softy definitely more than deserves that number one spot as well. I think over the past couple of years, again, if you guys have been watching for that long, you guys might remember I keep bringing this up every few months or every now and then, just to keep an eye out for the tickers that are slowly kind of gradually moving up towards that number one, number two spot. And we saw that Microsoft kind of crawling back up to the top as well. We know that Apple used to sit there for a very long time, and then Nvidia took over, and then Nvidia and Apple kind of a little bit of a battle for first place there. So it's interesting stuff. You know, I don't think it really affects my trading as significantly as you might think, but it's just something fun to kind of keep an eye out for and keep in mind as well. How the markets, how the futures are weighted based off their constituents, because at the end of the day, I trade the constituents more than I do the futures themselves. So when I'm using futures as a bit of an indicator, I do want to keep that in mind as well. So little blurb on the constituents there. What's going on?
No, I'm just making sure. I just put out a tweet because Ramin sort of sometimes handles the Trader TV Live account, and we didn't have one out for the recap show. So I just want to make sure that everyone can find that link. So we got that out there, and hopefully everybody can join us. All right, Obi, man, I was letting you sort of flow there, but I got a jam over there because I do not want to miss 1 minute of this. Yep. I'm going to go log in over there.
What time are those earnings coming out? 05?
Yeah.
405.
Maybe 401.
Maybe 401. Yeah, you don't know.
Maybe 415.
Yeah. Maybe 350.
Well, we've got HPQ.
Yeah.
We got Synopsys now.
Oh boy.
We've got Salesforce.
Yeah.
We've got Sharif.
Oh.
We're ready to go.
I'm definitely long.
I'm out of here.
Oh boy.
All right, oh boy. So handle it in 1.5 minutes, throw it back over, Obi, and we're gonna get ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna log out over here because can't log in twice. We're gonna log out and then we'll get back over there and get ready to go. So I'll see everybody in a couple seconds, all right?
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. Absolutely wild trading day today. Let's do a quick recap of some strong movers on the day today. And while I'm doing that, we only have a minute left. So I think again, Tesla pretty strong on the day today. But some of these earnings names, again, we talked about Box was the only one from my watch list right there that actually held its own and kind of continued off of the open there. But that TQ's short was absolutely beautiful as well, right off of the open, coming into a little bit of a level here. If you look back right there, supply zone underneath 72s, coming in just under 72s. Can't really make it through that selling, stepping right back in. So a little bit of a follow through on that one. I think TQs was probably one of my top trades for the day. Execution wise, I could have definitely done a little bit better, but I think I did relatively okay as well. I see that Fabian's stepping up to the bell here with only about 15 seconds left here. So I want to see in the chat. I'm going to continue reading this even after we pass it off to Sharif and Sean for the after hours show there. I want to know what you thought was the best trade idea of the day. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, Fabian. Hopefully you guys had a solid trading day. Remember, whether you're red or green, did you follow your process? Did you follow your playbook? Did you follow your procedures? That's what's going to put you out on top in the long run, and that's what makes you green. One day does not decide who you are as a trader. Your P&L does not determine who you are either. Don't forget that. Always be looking for that next opportunity in the market. Where's the next trade is what I'm going to ask. And that's what we'll be looking for tomorrow. But without any further ado, we're going to pass it to Sharif and Sean for your market recap. Nvidia's on the block. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Live, baby. Are we doing it live?
Doing it live. We only do it. We really only do it one way, and that's live. So right now, get ready to go here. I'll get this hat going. Steve, how's it going, man? Good to see you again. As I've been
Love
seeing
the
you all day,
energy with you and I, man.
As we go. So let's go. All right. So we have live right now. I'm going to call up. We have Rigetti on the move. I'm going to put in Nvidia here on the level 2. So if we come over here just to show everybody, we're going to have live. Okay. Well, it's moving around right now. 134.70 right now. We're moving around right now on Nvidia. So we'll have that up. Watch out. We'll have the Nvidia live level 2 up here. You could just want to focus on that number 134.80 right now. So PSTG is now out. I mean, a lot of names are going to come out. We want to thank everybody for being here with us. We will call this up for a 1-minute chart. We'll get that blasting off the minute we see Nvidia coming through. We will have that for you. I have it all in my ear as well. We've got the Benzinga News Pro.
Bang.
We've got Sharif here scouring Twitter, looking for everything. We've got all of the network going right now for this show. We want to thank everybody for joining us. It was a little bit of a rough day there, Sharif. Right at the end of the day, we had the Nasdaq pull back on President Trump talking all again about maybe a little higher, maybe, Andre. I don't know. Maybe it looks fine. Talking about the chip game, right? Yep. And maybe potentially Salesforce is now out. Salesforce is out. $2.58 for CRM. There we go. Who doing this? There's Salesforce right now. Let's look to see what's going on the level 2. 285, 287. Salesforce blasting to 290 right now. Do we have the numbers? It's a nice move for Salesforce.
So here's what we were expecting. We're expecting 255 EPS on revenue of 9.6 5.74. 9.8, Katina, man.
All right.
So it's a beat on the top line. Where's the EPS at? Of course, they got to make it hard for me, so we'll keep looking there. But the market reaction tells you all you need to know. We were at 274, Katina, man, before the spike up. Spiking into 294. That's a $20 move, 5.7%. We're really closing in on 300, Katina, man. So likely the guide. I'm going to dig through these numbers. I'll send it back to you.
Boom, we called this one. We talked about this live on the show. I said Salesforce better than expected. Here we go. Salesforce, nice move up. 258 beating 255. Sales of 983 beating 975. Boom. So Salesforce right now kicking higher.
There it is.
$291. Congratulations, anybody that's on that one. But where are we on a daily? We're only right here, man. We still got a lot more to go. Let's break above 300 right there. Nice move up there for Salesforce.
And the guide.
Remember, they got downside. Where's the guide at?
The guide is huge here, Katina, man. We're talking about $9.8 billion in revenue. That's an 8% year-over-year increase, and they're guiding EPS $1.80 to $1.82. That's above what the street was expecting there. You can screenshot this if you want to look at it. This is the full AI summary right there with all the information. The market tells you all you need to know, as it typically does, Katina, man, because we're still trading around that 290.
All right, so there it is, man. 290, a great level there for Salesforce. Again, we're looking at 3 bills, right? I'd like to see it break out through there. I'm not sure what Salesforce was up or down.
9,000 watching.
Today, yeah, over 9,000 of you watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I mean, 9,000 a little light. We got to get more. Tweet this out, man. Get everybody watching this right now. What time is NVIDIA, they're all asking?
4.
Hopefully soon, because right now Nvidia is getting clubbed right there, continuously moving lower here in the after hours goes Nvidia. And again, the story, President Trump coming out earlier and talking about holding back on some of those chip purchases and delaying, saying to Synopsys it was, right, that they did not want that to be released into China. No more deals for you. Synopsys, their symbol, of course, as we open it up to have a look to see what Synopsys is all about. Nice downside play there for NVIDIA. Only a few green areas today. MSOS, the marijuana space, up 2%. Gold a little bit as well. I saw gold was up today. Actually winds up down for the day. GDX is up. USO oil there as well. UNG down 5% though.
Katina, man, we're getting NutX, huh?
What else are we getting out?
Nutnex, 6 1/3 down here, Katina, man. A big move down. We were trading around $80 just below as we closed. Now we're down to 73.50. They reported Q3 as well as full year 2025 results. Revenue did surge 22%, guys, and the GAAP operating income reaching 48.6, but not good enough here for the street. Down almost 7% here in the Katina market. NTNX, the ticker there. We also got PSTG, so we got Pure Storage as well. That one reported. Here's the report, guys. I'll pop that in for you guys super quick. This one releasing their Q1 full year 2026 as well, and this one kind of reacting kind of mildly, Katina, man. Take it over.
We just got Elf Beauty. So Elf Beauty, we're looking for this number, 72 cents right now for Elf. Elf apparently is now out.
It is.
So we're going to get over those numbers in a second right here. Elf looks like they've entered into an agreement to acquire Rhode, RHODE, in a $1 billion deal. I don't think they're a public company, but $1 billion deal for Rhode, RHODE for Elf. So Elf coming back in a little bit. We'll wait to see if we get those numbers. But Elf's had a huge move from that bottom. I like Ulta Beauty as well. That's been suffering as well. But Ulta Beauty actually retracing back to the upside as well. Ulta downside a little bit, but as is Elf. Nice downside play. I guess they missed.
Yeah, well, let's look at what the street was expecting first and foremost. So let's load up that bad boy here. I just had that image.
There was 72 cents or so.
So here it is. So I'll just bring it in. This is what we were expecting here from the street. If I can just scroll that one over. ELF, we were expecting on this one, 72 cents, Sean, on revenue of $326.3 million. And here's what we got. We got net sales of $332. So we missed on the top line there. Gross margins increased 50 basis points to 71%. Keeping an eye on net income, $28.3 million on a GAAP basis. That was about below the last print there of 45.2.
Okay.
Diluted shares per earnings, Sean, 49 pennies. What was the street looking for? Let's bring it in. Let's have a look. We're looking for 72, so a bit of a miss there.
Yeah, big time, actually. Down now 10% goes ELF. We'll wait to see if there is going to be. I have NVIDIA up here, 135. It's making a move northbound right now, NVIDIA. So ELF right there, hit a little bit down into the right right now. So, not great, but again, it's had a nice day. We'll see. It's still well above the 50-period moving average. I like ELF. I think it's a buy. So we'll have to look at that. SNPS, a little bit of a flattish move here as we'll wait for, here we go. Oof. Their report is now out, $2.21. So miss on Synopsys right there. So we'll wait to see what happens right there for them. NVIDIA, we talked about that move happening right now, 135.25. We go as low as 134 and change there for NVIDIA. Now it looks like it's trying to get back to the upside. So SNPS, a little bit of a miss, but doesn't look like there's too much reaction here after hours. The big news comes here as Donald Trump goes, you ain't selling any of this equipment to China. Nice downside move there for SNPS. Wow, $500 down to $450, so give it 10%. And then now making a way back up there in the after hours. Hey, man, we almost have 10,000 watching now. 9,600 right now. We got to get you to hit this like. Look, 999 right there. Someone be that 1,000th like. That happened right away. There it is. Thank you so much for getting into that one. So there it goes, man. NVIDIA and Salesforce also holding the day is CRM. And CRM, of course, beats on the top and the bottom line.
We got C3 AI, baby.
We got C3 AI.
And a 3%.
Boom!
Rocketing to
Big
the high
move there.
side. Let's talk about the earnings. What do we got here? Can we actually read this? Or we're going to have to read the chicken scratch that they throw on us here for Katina
Back up near the 200-period moving average.
What's that?
ELF is making its way, AI making its way back to the 200-period.
All right, let's see if we got anything on AI over here. C3 AI, keeping an eye on that, looking for the actual numbers. It looks like they're going to renew C3I and Baker Hughes, renew and expand their joint venture agreement. We're still not getting the actual report yet, so keeping an eye on that. Look, here we got. So let's see over here. It looks like C3 reported earnings in February. No, that's February numbers, Katina man. So we'll continue to look and scour the net here for the actual the numbers themselves.
We'll wait. Agilent Technologies as well. Bang. This is a great earnings day today for sure. Agilent upside, right? CRM upside. Agilent Technology confirms forward guidance of 554 to 561 versus 555. So a better guide forward for Agilent, letter A. They also see, again, forward moves in Q3, 135 to 137. So that's a good little move there. Sales also beating for Agilent. So we get that move to the upside. Sentinel-1 also, their security name, out as that's sort of been dropping a little bit there into 17 and change. So we'll wait to see about Sentinel-1 right now. Let's check back in on our friends Mark Benioff and company. Salesforce, ignore this move down. That's not happening. It's 289 right now for Salesforce, trying to hold out. Here's NVIDIA, man, 135. We're still on this name, man. It's still doing it live right now with NVIDIA. This is what the chart looks like right here. NVIDIA and had that move down into 134, now holding out right there. So we'll watch out for NVIDIA. Hopefully we get a spike right now. We'll hold this out. You can watch out for the chart over here. You see some action on the far right side. That's going to be your NVIDIA live real-time chart. You do have an NVIDIA live real-time level 2 right here as well. Over 235 million shares NVIDIA has done today. So yeah, man, back and forth a little bit, right, here today. So Elf Beauty, a name that a lot of traders like to look at, that's going downside as well, down now 13%. So it's 411. All right, we'll hold out. We're waiting for 88 cents. Is that look there for NVIDIA? Well, we have, it's all over the place. We have 85 to 88 cents on a consensus with a revenue estimate of around 42 to 43 billion. I mean, I know it's rough numbers there, but again, you know, the analysts are kind of all over the place. We'll see what winds up happening right now to all of this.
Let's talk about Sentinel-1, Katima, because it's absolutely tanking to the downside here, 13.1% to the downside. Here's what happened. They reached 229 million in revenue. That's up a healthy amount here from 186.4 last year. They also saw a 24% increase in annualized recurring revenue up to 948. Their average revenue per user 100,000. Is that crazy? Grew by 22% to 1,459. That's how many users that they have paying an annual an annual recurring revenue of $100,000. We'll keep an eye out on that. What else do they have over here with respect to the guide? Nothing with the guide. The market not receiving it well, Sean. We closed out right about that $20 area, and now we're all the way down $17.50 here, 13.33% to the downside, Sean.
Yeah, we're looking, again, you know, the EPS for NVIDIA is going to be all over the place. If we can get a number like north of 88, that would be huge. Most of the expectations between 86 to 88 cents there for NVIDIA. We're also expecting 43.3 billion right now in the revenue. So when those numbers come, you're going to see this start to go crazy. We're looking for how this is going to affect the recent ban of the H20 chips there in China. 5.5 billion in inventory write-offs. It could be possible here for NVIDIA. So we're going to wait to see 135.50 right now. NVDA not out yet. Marvell, I was just checking that. That's my own book. So we'll figure out that. C3 AI, nice report there today as well. $23 up to 26. We start to climb a little bit higher. Now 7% here on C3 AI. We're waiting, man. We're waiting. Looks like a beat there for C3 AI as we continue to wait for more Pure Storage as well. Yep. A name that's gone to the downside a little bit. Relatively flat though. $55 down to 54 right now.
And the thing that you mentioned right at the start of the show, Donald Trump taking to Twitter or X or wherever the hell he's going on these days and basically tanking the market as at the end. And here is why, guys. If I can show my screen, Trump orders U.S. chip designers to stop selling to China. He's reportedly told U.S. companies that offer software used to design semiconductors to stop selling their services to Chinese clients. The Commerce Department, Katina Man, has reportedly told electronic design automation groups, which include Cadence, Synopsys, Siemens, to stop supplying their technology to China. The Bureau of Industry and Security, the arm of the U.S. Commerce Department that oversees export controls, says that they have issued the directive to companies via letters. It's unclear if every U.S. EDA has received the letter. Obviously, this has to do with the earnings report that we're going to get in a few minutes with Nvidia, well, because they're in the chip business, and up until last year, 20% of their revenue went to China, and they had 90% market share in 2022. It's 50% now.
I remember we saw that story yesterday. Yeah, that was crazy. Right there, Huawei definitely eating some lunch.
Exactly.
Okay, Vive Technology, Viva Systems right now, up 14%. I have adjusted Q1 EPS missing. $1.37 versus $1.74. There might be a problem with that number. We'll clarify it. But right now, Viva, huge upside. I want to thank not all 9,000 of you. I want to thank all 10,200 of you right now that are watching this live. We are moments away from HP. So let's wait to see if... HPQ, my bad. HPQ right there. We'll wait to see when this comes in right now. HP, we're looking for a number from them right now. HP trying to come out. The number that we're looking for HPQ in and around 80 cents with a revenue estimate.
It's out, Katina, man.
13.36.
It's tanking.
Let's go. What's going on?
Okay, so here we got EPS 68 pennies. The street wanted 80. That's a miss. Okay. What else did we get? Where's the revenue at, man? Show me the revenue.
The revenue we're looking for is 13.36.
I don't have. I'm looking.
13.2 in my ear.
13.2 in your ear.
13.2 right there. So we miss on both sides. Miss on the top and miss on the bottom line. Sharif reporting. What was it? 60 something cents.
We got 60 cents, Katina Man, versus 62 versus what the hold on. Second quarter adjusted EPS, that's a guide, 71 pennies, okay? Full year, Katina Man, $3 a share versus the $3.30, so it's a miss for the full year. That's not good, obviously. 68 cents.
Oh boy,
we're looking
18%. 18%.
This is really bad.
Nvidia, for some reason, starting to get going a little bit. We're up to 136 almost, so nice little move down. We saw Nvidia get hit down to 134 and change after hours. We talked about it getting hit a little bit, up about $1.50 there from the lows. Nvidia getting volume. Look at the trading happening right now as we wait for this. It must be imminent right now. The tape is not stopping on Nvidia. Tons of volume right now as people are positioning themselves. HPQ, brutal, man. Down 19%, getting washed right now. Nvidia all the way back down to tariff lows right now. We are waiting for 88 cents for NVIDIA is what we're waiting for. That's expected. And the 43 number in the billions, we're waiting for that, as well as HPQ downside down into $23. Bye-bye, Hewlett-Packard. SMCI having any kind of ways on this? No. Dell feeling any kind of ways? Yes. Dell downside play has some tertiary plays happening there now for HPQ and everybody else involved with them. So there goes Salesforce, man. It looks like we can calm down about Salesforce. It'll hover around here. We'll wait for their call, I believe, kicking off either at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. We'll hear what Mark has to say. It doesn't really matter. We hopefully will be off the air by then. We're waiting for NVIDIA. I remember it was Meta.
Yep.
That came a little north of 4:30 that one day. So we'll wait to see there. Now remember, the plays that we're looking for NVIDIA, 88 cents. We'll hear where that comes. But do we really even care what their past quarter is, right? We're looking for possible news about what's to come, and I'm looking for a big revenue beat. I want to make sure that they are still getting that money from the hyperscalers. I mean, someone's got to write these checks for $40 billion in a quarter. So we still heard good news from, basically all of the hyperscalers that they're not slowing down. So hopefully NVIDIA is catching some of that wind and catching some business as well. David asking, did NVIDIA report yet?
Not yet. Come on,
you're
David.
watching the show, my guy.
David.
What's up, David? No, NVIDIA did not report. Check in on the poll, though, real quick, because now we have 4,000 votes. Thank you so much for all of that, man. 65% think that we go green on this report. Okay. So let's wait to see tomorrow what's happening. You're now up to 136 and changes. We want to thank every single one of you for joining us right now. Every time I check, man, the viewers are getting higher. 10.5 right now. Oh, boy, we're getting ready for this, man. We love these earnings reports, as they're going to come through and give us a lot of things to talk about, a lot of action. What's AMD doing here? Hovering around, waiting for NVIDIA. We have a live level 2 right here and live charting right now for NVIDIA all over the place. As soon as we hear it, man, everyone's going to, hey, man, people want me to bring the NVIDIA earnings out. If I knew them, I would tell them to you, but I do not. So I wish we did have that. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe button. Let's start breaking some records. We need over, hey, look, if you're long NVIDIA, the one thing I can tell you is, it's kind of something that we've studied, but not overly. If you do hit the like button, there's a chance that your trades will become winning trades. So so that's the one thing there. Whether or not you're long or you're short, if you don't hit the button, don't yell at me for that not coming through to you. But I'm getting excited as we wait for NVIDIA. There it is. We're breaking through 136 now on NVIDIA. There it is, 136. Someone's holding it back, though. It does not get a chance to do that. 234 million shares right now. Where's that blast off, man? What we're looking for is a take of the all-time highs, right? Why can't we get that? We're looking for 8%. I think it was 6.7%. So that's about $9. You add $9 to NVIDIA right here, and we're magically
delicious.
Near that too, man. What was that, trick? No, what is it? Yeah,
magic. Okay, well, I think it was Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Yeah, because of that little leprechaun guy.
Katina, man, should we tell everybody when the earnings calls are going to be? Because oh, come on now.
Yeah, of course.
So we got NVIDIA at 5 o'clock.
They're out.
Salesforce. NVIDIA's out?
NVIDIA's out. 81 cents. That's not good. They're reporting 81 cents right now for NVIDIA. Here we go, man. We got 135 and change. NVIDIA is now out.
Oh,
NVIDIA, what? The lights are flickering. This is our power may go. NVIDIA right now, 135 and change. It goes down to 133.5. What are these numbers looking like?
44 billion in revenue, Katina, man. That's up 12% from Q4, 69% from a year ago. Their data center revenue, a euphemism for AI, $39.1 billion. We're going to look for EPS
over to
as we scour down, guys. So 44.1 billion in revenue, Katina, man. 39.1 for AI, which is called data center revenue. We're going to keep an eye out here for the EPS. I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, EPS is bad, man. The EPS is 81, missing 88. They missed on their EPS.
No good.
But why are they up? Okay, so sales of 44 billion beats 43 billion. End of story. Better sales than expected, but NVIDIA getting to the downside right now. I'm hearing some charges that they're incurring in my ear right now, so I guess they're writing down some of those H20s right now. but there it goes up to 137 and change. NVIDIA saying, giddy up, man. Let's look at this. There it is right now. Nice play higher for NVIDIA, 137 and change. Can we get above the day high of one? There it goes, 137.50 right now for NVIDIA. Bye-bye,
Here we go.
137
Here
and
we go.
change. The live level 2 looks like this. What's up? Who's sitting there at 138? Pull your orders. You do not want that fill because you're going to get 140 in a second. There it goes. I told you to pull it. Now we're going to wait to see. The NVIDIA supercomputer is now in full production.
I love it.
What?
I love
We're
it.
not we've never talked about supercomputers. What is Jensen doing?
You see
right
that?
now, he's getting more and more involved. Right there. There goes NVIDIA. I told you to
Here
pull
we
your
go,
order.
baby.
Who just got filled at 138? It's 139 right now. Q2 revenue expecting higher. They're guiding forward. What kind of a maniac guides forward in this environment right now? The high end of Q2 sales, 45.9 versus 45.78.
Wow.
There's 140 for NVIDIA
There it
right
is,
now.
man.
I tried to warn
Are
you
we
guys.
the most valuable company again? 3.4 billion, Katina, man.
There it
That's
is.
what we're at. Where's the soft one at? MSFT. Did we
they're
overtake Softy? Did we over 3.410?
People loving the show.
3.4. Oh, we're so close. I think by the end of the tomorrow, NVIDIA is going to be the most valuable company.
So I'm a little worried. I mean, a great response here, a great report. Looks like for NVIDIA. I do not like that EPS miss, man. Our margins shrinking. Why? I mean, I guess there's write down. So that's the whole thing.
Think about it. They're not just the 5.5 Katina, man, that they had to write off for the H20. The 15.1 billion that they were going to realize in revenue. Where's that money coming from? He won't even let them sell the H20s to anybody else. So it's like,
there you go.
Yeah.
So that's obviously going to be baked into the numbers, but it looks like they're moving forward here with NVIDIA. So again, an NVIDIA adjusted EPS of 81 cents, missing 88, sales of 44.06, beating 43.21.
Bang.
So it looks like NVIDIA to the moon right there, right now, taking out 140. And there we go, man. We talked about this, man. The double beat. We went green on NVIDIA. We went green on Salesforce. They're all flying right now. Salesforce downside, actually. We shouldn't say all of them. Let's just check out what's going on with AMD. AMD liking what it sees there as well. We took a position in Marvell over lunchtime. That looks like that's going to work out for now. But there's NVIDIA. We've got the live. Okay, so it's pulling back in. I don't want to call it top at 140.
Here it is. Yep, Katina, man. NVIDIA says excluding the $4.5 billion charge and related tax impact, first quarter non-GAAP diluted earnings per share would have been.
I see that.
You saw that one, 96 pennies. That would have been an easy beat. Thanks, Donald.
Yep, so there it is right there. So NVIDIA saying excluding that. Imagine taking a charge of $4.5 billion. You don't even have companies even selling that. Anyways,
they don't make that in revenue on the whole year.
That's the GDP of many countries. Okay? They wrote that off. So right there, charge of tax-related impact, first quarter non-GAAP shares would have been 96. So instead, they write it down to 81 cent EPS, and then they're guiding for it as well. So it looks like we're going to be okay on that number, but it's pulling back from 140. I still don't like the 81 cents, but there's the explanation right there again. So we want to thank everybody for joining us, and they're staying with us right now. We have the highest level, 10.8 right now, staying with us here. Dang. Thank you so much for doing that. We are also doing this every single day.
Bang.
So join us every single day. But this is not just an NVIDIA show. Kind of is.
Sometimes it feels like
right there.
Sometimes it feels like
no, and I'm proud to do that, man.
Absolutely.
We're proud. We'll keep that going for you here. But HPQ also smacked in the mouth today as well. Nice move to the downside for HPQ, all the way back down into some tariff levels. I'm feeling like we may want to buy some HPQ down here at 22 bucks. Let's get that all figured out. We'll wait to see if Dell can talk a little bit about that. The server side, not the greatest right now for Hewlett Packard with the the guide lower there for HP. I think they double missed, actually.
Yeah, it's 20% now, Katina,
Right, so
man.
there
This
we go,
is really
getting lower and lower and lower. NVIDIA, though, man, trying to make it move right back up. We just absorbed that 138 quite nicely. We bounced back into that level. Now let's see if we can take out 140. And if we do, let's look at a daily for NVIDIA. Where could we possibly go? We're just trying to gap through this level right now. So I don't know. It's not a crazy move. We were expecting 6.7%. NVIDIA went out around down just under 1%. So it's only like a 3.5% move. I was underneath the 6.7 for Nvidia and over the 7 for Salesforce. So looks like for now we're going to be cool to go on that. But right into there, 141, 143, we're looking to take those out. But Nvidia, again, 96 cents without the 4.5 billion write down, but they do take that on taxes there. We talked about Trump, we talked about the H20, then and the 5 mils. So now we'll look to see what's going on there. But Nvidia trying to retest highs one more time. 81 cents is the reported number. I was scared for that number, right? I mean, we saw that. There's the move down on the algos. We went to 133 on the headline number, but that's where, and I was in that space today where we talked about it. I said, AI ain't it right now, because you're front running some of these plays. So it's hitting, people are programming in keywords, 88 versus 81 sell, but that's not the full story. So it looks like Nvidia right now, again, not happy that we rejected there. We could start to push lower. Like, oh, well, there we go right now, Sharif. Down $2 and change.
I wanted to mention something from the 140 pop, Sean, that we just got to. So we rejected 140, but off that level, to get back to all-time highs, closing, not intraday all-time highs, Sean, close 7%.
Right.
That's all we need for NVIDIA to go all-time highs. I want to mention a couple of things here, Sean. So we mentioned the different segments that they reported earnings for. So I show this, $39.1 billion. That's their data center revenue. They also make money from automotive, 567, which feels like baby money relative to their AI. Their gaming, remember this used to be known for gaming and gaming only. They were only making $3.8 billion off this. That's what they reported for revenue on the quarter. It really is a data center story, again, a euphemism for AI. Fantastic look here. I want to see what Jensen has to say. And I want to hear what he has to say about the growing kind of situation with AI, with China. Look, remember that headline we got yesterday? They're making the 3rd iteration of a China-specific AI chip.
Right.
I mean, how many times do they have to re-innovate to work around regulations? So I'm sure he's going to have more to say about that.
Yeah, the goalpost keeps moving for these guys. Like, solving something. I don't know. I heard something in my ear about some sort of a supercomputer. So I'm waiting to hear more about that. I'm excited for that. Viva Systems, though, up 13%. I have an adjusted miss of 137 versus 174, and not right here on the Benzinga Pro platform. So there it is right there. Looks like a miss. Sales beat, though. So, hey, man, looks like it's some nice upside moves there for Viva as well. And then, of course, as we go with HPQ, we're going to talk about them.
I got the guide.
You got the NVIDIA guide?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
NVIDIA forecasting second quarter revenue below estimates, guys. Okay,
great.
So we'll have a look here to see exactly what they're saying. According to data compiled, the company's adjusted quarterly earnings 93 cents per share, with 17 analysts actually looking for higher than that. Also expecting revenue of 45 billion, as you mentioned, Sean, plus or minus 2%. So that's what we're expecting there. And the forecast includes an $8 billion now, Sean, billion-dollar loss for H20 revenue. We were talking about 15.2 or 15.5. I also want to mention one thing, that $5.5 billion charge that we kept hearing about. So only $1 billion of that is actually going to be realized in the current quarter. They're kicking the can down the road for the other $4.5 billion for Q2. So we may see a bit of a lighter one in Q2.
Yeah, I don't know if we like that or not.
Well, you never, the amount of changes this company is going through between now and the next quarter, God knows what they're going to have in the bank and how much higher they're going to be, guys. So I don't know. I think it's a decent report here, Sean. I mean, usually we sell off on this. We're up 2% here.
Yeah, we were down 8.5% last time, right? So it's a better move for NVIDIA, but not all is lost. I mean, we still have Jensen coming, of course, CEO and founder coming at 5 p.m. To go over these numbers, and so definitely tune into that. Get that call going if you guys are interested. For sure on that one. All right, so Synopsys, right? This was the big one there. Big move down there as they're no longer allowed, apparently, to sell any of their equipment into China. So that was a big move there. They also report today, which is kind of funny, and not much happening there for Synopsys, but I did get those numbers. 383, so sorry, their guide was 382 to 387 versus 396. So they are guiding lower, and I feel like it might be Maybe a little bit lower than that is what's necessary for them if President Trump has his way. Salesforce pulling back actually quite nice right now. So I feel bad about this Salesforce number because we got up to 290. Salesforce doing good though, was a good report. Here's the numbers for Salesforce. 258 beating 255, sales 983 versus 975. So Salesforce doing okay. They also see 181 versus 171. So their guide is also okay. So Salesforce there today, not kind of a nothing burger again. I mean, 2% for Salesforce and what, 2% for Nvidia? So Nvidia right now, 138 and trying to get it all figured out. Look, man, we feel like we could do this forever. I want to thank everybody for watching. We're not going anywhere without saying hi to everybody that's here. That is for sure. So it looks like right now we do have some of the smartest, 4,500 votes right there, 66. So 2/3 of you are saying green for Nvidia. It looks like that will be the truth for right now. So I'm going to dismiss this and start saying hi to everybody. If you wave, it's easier. What's up, Bears versus Bulls? He's here as well. Wyatt is here. Stanley's here. CompuCare team is here. A lot of these traders been with us from day one. So we want to thank you for continuing forward with us here on the recap show. As I can see right now, a lot of waves coming in. Hi, Sean, says David Scott. Hey, David Scott. Hey, Jersey Shore. I think Jersey Shore is coming back for a reunion.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Hey? Gym Tan Laundry Time. The situation is back in the building right now as well. I always thought we could do something with trading and that front as well. With
those guys will be ready to jump on in a second, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. God. What's up to Alexander? Mick J is here as well. CMNY. T-Money. We see T-Money all the time in the chat as well. Mr. Adam DeLuz.
ADL, baby.
ADL in here. Anybody catching your eye?
Let's see, Sebastian, hard. I like that. Who else we got? We got Rainmaker. We got DJ Rules, Katina. How about Mandy Moonshot? I like that name. Who else? Gotta stop spamming the chat, man. Come on, Bart Simpson. Get it together there, baby. Piper? What else? Chubby Reviews. I don't know what that means. Maybe nobody has any idea what any of this stuff means. What's going on?
Okay, Sharif, look, man, it's been an absolute blast. Because we just talked about Jersey Shore.
Yes.
I always do something with the Dara. We always come up. Here, get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. I always come up with something so we can do a little pun at the end of the day. All right, this is a TV series. Which one are you watching?
Hold on. Are you asking me?
Yeah, what TV? Give me one.
I don't know. Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. We like Saved by the Bell. We got AC Slater over here. We got Zach Morris on this side. We're just looking for Kelly Kapowski. Where are you at, Kelly? Where are you at? Thank you so much to everybody for joining us one more time. Jesse Spano as well.
I'm
Lisa?
more of a Kelly Kapowski type of guy. You hit it with the first one there, Shakita, man. I love it.
Just trying to say. All right. Thank you so much to everybody. For Sharif, he's here, man. For Fabia, thank you so much. Joseph, Obi's still here. Brendo, thank you so much. For Satea, everybody, Bears versus Bulls, and all of the viewers, thank you so much for making this recap show another special one. Thank you, Sharif, for joining as well today. Guess what, man? There's another one of these shows tomorrow, and we're back live at 8:30, where we'll see can NVIDIA hold it. Thank you so much, Nimrod, for the super chat I just saw pop in. But we got to get out of here. We've got things to do, and so do you. Go NVIDIA. Enjoy the call. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Good luck, guys.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.